3 seconds from Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. It is game number 37 as your Xenia Scouts take on the Hamilton Joes in the final matchup between these two teams in the 2017 season. Andrew Alix here, alongside my broadcast partner, Gabe Genovesi. You will hear from Gabe in just a moment. The Scouts, well, it has not been good recently. No questions asked. Since coming into the All-Star break with a record of 15-15, they have dropped to 15-21, 6 consecutive losses. Since that All-Star game, they are all but eliminated. Actually, they are mathematically eliminated from the Great Lakes Collegiate League playoffs. So the chances of that South Division Championship repeat, well, unfortunately, they are no more. But the boys still have a ton to play for. And tonight we will see Jorge Lozano, the Dominican righty from Wright State University, in his final start in the Xenia Scouts uniforms. And we'll give you the lineup quickly for the Scouts in the field. It's Kyle Casserly at first, Ange Bourgeois at second, Aaron Takis at short, Donald Ring at third. Jordan Lambert is playing left field tonight. Francisco Ondina in center, and Dylan Lottenville will be playing right. Chris Ackerman behind the plate, and Ryan Park will be in that designated hitter spot. The numbers for Lozano on the year, well, they have not been as good as he might have hoped coming into the year following his 2016 All-Star season. Lozano this year with the Scouts, 19 innings pitched, a 12.31 ERA, given he had allowed 9 of his 26 earned runs this season, all in one game where the roof really fell off for Lozano, and unfortunately, he only went a third of an inning, allowing 9 earned runs. That was the second start, I should say, that he made this season. It was also against these Hamilton Joes. So Lozano talking to the third baseman, Donald Ring, and Kyle Casserly, the first baseman. They're going to head over to their spots, and Lozano is about to get ready and have this game go underway. The man leading things off for the Hamilton Joes, well, that'll be Riley Dent. Riley Dent, the center fielder from Valparaiso, a .266 hitter. He hits from the left side here against the righty Lozano. The first pitch of this ball game is bunted down the third base line. Charging is Donald Ring. That ball will hang fair and die on that third base line. Safe at first with a bunt single is Riley Denton. That's the first hit of the ball game on that first hit. On that first pitch, I should say, 1 on and nobody out for the Hamilton Joes. So the Joes clearly trying to take advantage here of the fact that Donald Ring over at third base. Well, he's not a third baseman by trade by any means. Ring a catcher, but with the injury of Joey Roddy in yesterday's contest, following getting hit by a pitch on the elbow, had to leave the game and actually go seek some medical treatment. So the Scouts are without a third baseman. First pitch to Genesis Hillard, curveball way on the inside. 1 ball and no strikes, the count to Hillard. Top of the first inning here, a scoreless game between the Scouts and the Hamilton Joes. 1 on and nobody out after the leadoff man, Riley Dent, reached on a bunt single. So Genesis Hillard to the plate. He bats from the right side here. A ball and no strikes, the count. Big lead over there for Riley Dent. The 1-0 pitch. That one catches the inside part of the plate. A called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the count to Hillard. Hillard, a .225 hitter on the year, a couple of doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs for the left fielder from Ohio Dominican. He has 12 runs batted in on the season. A ball and a strike to count. Big lead still for Riley Dent. The pitch fouled straight back into the screen. The count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Genesis Hillard, like we said, Ohio Dominican. That is a big-time small college program here in the great state of Ohio. And Hillard, well, he's done some work against the Scouts. 1 for 3 with a couple of walks and a hit by pitch in 3 games against the Scouts this season. Pickoff attempt back over to first, not in time to get Riley Dent over there. The count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes here against the left fielder, Genesis Hillard. Trey Turner, the right fielder from Arizona State, awaits on deck for the Hamilton Joes. So Riley Dent leads over from first. He is 8 for 13 on stolen base attempts this year. And another pickoff attempt from Lozano. He is taking no chances here early in this ball game. So still taking a big lead over at first is Riley Dent. Now Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The pitch and the runner goes. Chris Ackerman drops the pitch. Unfortunately, that pops out of his glove, sliding in safely. To second base is Riley Dent. He picks up his 9th stolen base of the year. And just like that, the Hamilton Joes with a runner in scoring position here and nobody out. So Genesis Hillard Working with a runner at second here and nobody out. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count here. Still nobody out in the top of the first inning. Lozano looks back to second, and the runner goes. They got him caught in a pickle. Lozano's going to throw it over to the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois, and that will get under the glove of Bourgeois. Running over to third base is Riley Dent, and that is an inexcusable error on the infield there from scout second baseman Ange Bourgeois.
And I'm not sure if Bourgeois just didn't catch it or the throw was wide from Lozano. But either way, personally, I thought the throw was bad from Jorge Lozano, but you could be right. It could have been on the money, and Bourgeois just missed it. To me, it looked low and away from Bourgeois.
The pitch, and that one comes way on the inside, and that'll brush the jersey of Genesis Hillard, so he reaches first. And now it's runners at the corners and nobody out as we go into the heart of this Hamilton Joe's order to the 3, 4, and 5 spot. And Jorge Lozano having a tough time already on just a bunt single and a hit by pitch.
Yeah, and it's a shame because he really should have had one out, nobody on. And either way, throw off the line. Bourgeois didn't catch it. Either way, don't really care whose fault it was. It's the out's got to be made.
Not much you can do about it at this point. So it's Riley Dent at third and Genesis Hillard at first. Here in the top of the first inning, nobody out, still a scoreless ball game. First pitch and showing bunt is Trey Turner. He'll pull back. That pitch delivers low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Trey Turner. Trey Turner, the right fielder from Arizona State. A .258 hitter around the year. 5 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. And Lozano will start his motion, or look like he's about to start his motion, but step off and look over the runner, Genesis Hillard at first. How did we get here? Well, Riley Dent started with a bunt single, and then a stolen base and a pickoff attempt. As Lozano delivers fastball low and away now, 2 balls and no strikes to Trey Turner. Bunt single, stolen base. Then the runner at second, Riley Dent, tries to steal third. Lozano's got him caught in a pickle, but somewhere the throw back to the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois, either got away from him or was off the line to begin with. 2-0 pitch. Fouled straight back into the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. But regardless, Lozano, who the next pitch after the runner goes to third, hits Genesis Hillard with a pitch just very slightly on the inside. You get runners at the corners and nobody out, and the scouts are running the risk of going into one of their games where they just have that early inning deficit. So 2 balls and 1 strike the count here. Lozano delivers, and that one bouncing in the dirt, and that'll get away from Chris Ackerman. Coming home to score is Riley Dent. Genesis Hillard advances to second, and just like that, before an out is even made in this contest, 1-0 Hamilton Jones is the score.
Yeah, and that pitch just low and outside. I'm not sure if you'll call that a wild pitch or a pass ball, but hits right off Ackerman and bounces pretty far down the third base line.
So 1-0 now is the score in favor of the Hamilton Jones. Genesis Hillard moves over to second. 3 balls and 1 strike, I should say, is the count to Trey Turner. Turner bats from the right side against the righty Lozano. The pitch, and that one is lined into right field, a base hit. Dylan Lottenville is there. He'll relay it in. So Genesis Hillard will have to stop at third, but Trey Turner picks up the second hit of the game here off of Jorge Lozano, and runners remain at the corners here still with nobody out. So now Nigel Williams will step to the plate, and this game already looks to be a little bit of a headache for Jorge Lozano before things have even really begun. But Nigel Williams, he's not the guy you wanted to play either. Williams, a .288 hitter with 9 doubles, 1 home run, only 4 RBIs. 9 doubles and 4 RBIs, kind of a weird spread of numbers there. But that .288 batting average, that is second on this Hamilton Joe's ball club. He bats from the right side here. Runner goes, throw over to second. Looks like Chris Ackerman will just do a pump fake there and let Trey Turner slide into second safely. So now 2 runners in scoring position here. Still nobody out in the top of the first inning. The first pitch delivered on the outside. That was ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes here. The count to Nigel Williams. The pitch for Lozano. And that one, a slow ground ball over towards second. Bourgeois picks it up, throws over to first in time to get Nigel Williams. Genesis Hillard will come home to score from third on the ground out. So after that ground out, that's out number 1, but now 2-0 the score in favor of the Hamilton Jones.
And sadly, it's just happened again to Jorge Lozano. We've seen it all year long. He has a little bit of a rough start. And in previous starts, he pitches the second, third, and fourth.
First pitch on the inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Frank Dixon.
He pitched the second, third, and fourth scoreless. So you just hope Lozano can get out of this one, only allowing 2. You got the third run on third, so a deep fly ball would score him, and then pitch good the rest of the way.
The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Fastball on the outside. Frank Dixon goes chasing. Evens the count 1-1. Did not mention on the ground out, Trey Turner, the runner at second, advanced over to third. So it's a runner at third here with 1 away. And a guy in Frank Dixon who, even in a small amount of at-bats, as he hits that one into shallow left field, Jordan Lambert sliding, can't make the grab. The throw home will be off the mark. They throw it to the cutoff man, Jorge Lozano. He will throw it over the head of Chris Ackerman. So it looked like Trey Turner, who, and it's a tough one to explain, but that ball hit into left field. Jordan Lambert slides, tries to make the grab. He has it, but it pops out of the glove. So after it pops out of the glove, the runner the runner Trey Turner over at third base he thought he had to go back and tag up, but realized that he didn't. So a big time delay. The ball in very shallow left field. Jordan Lambert relays it into Jorge Lozano. And then from there, unfortunately for Lozano, he just throws it over the head of Chris Ackerman, even though a regular throw, had it been on time, which you presume it would have had the runner at third, Trey Turner, a sitting duck at home plate, but the throw just goes over the head of Ackerman. So just like that, the runner comes home to score. Frank Dixon advances over to second. The score now 3-0 in favor of the Hamilton Joes, with another runner in scoring position and still just 1 away. It'll be interesting to see how Kyler Ludlow, Scouts official scorekeeper, marks that one. Looks like that one will be ruled as an error. So Lozano, after he has to have a word with Scouts manager Bubba Cates, Cates goes out to the mound, but now he retreats to the dugout. A runner at second here. Still just 1 away, and the batter is Mason Deanna at the plate. Mason Deanna, a .278 hitter, 2 doubles, 3 triples, and 10 RBIs for the second baseman from the University of Cincinnati. Normally a catcher, but playing second base tonight. He bats from the right side here against the righty Lozano. First pitch way on the outside. Good job by Chris Ackerman to get in front of that one on the outside and prevent it from going to the backstop, allowing the runner at second, Frank Dixon, to advance over to third. A ball and no strikes to count here. Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. Looks back to second. Now he delivers. And that ball fouled back into the plate, evens the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. It has been a struggle so far, but you might ask, how did we get here? Well, it was a bunt single from Riley Dent to lead things off. He then stole second, advanced to third after a pickoff move went awry and went into center field. Then Genesis Hiller was hit by a pitch, a single from Trey Turner. As that pitch taken off the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike, now the count. So the first run comes home to score on an RBI single from Trey Turner. The second run comes home to score on a 4-3 ground out from Nigel Williams. And then the ball hit in the air to left field. Jordan Lambert had it, but it pops out of the glove. And another run comes home to score. 2-1 pitch, curveball on the inside, a called strike. Probably the best pitch we've seen from Lozano all day. Evens the count up 2-2 here. 3-0 is your score in the top of the first inning with just 1 away between the Hamilton Joes and the Xenia Scouts. Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. He has what he wants. A pitch, and that ball hit on the ground but foul. Third base side. We will stay at 2-2. Mason Deanna, the 6th batter to come to the plate here against Jorge Lozano in just the top of the first inning. And it has been a struggle so far. Not entirely the fault of Lozano, but nonetheless, he has not done himself any favors. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. The pitch, curveball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Jorge Lozano gets his first punch out of the evening and in a big spot here. And now it'll be the task Lozano to retire Ryan Crockett here with a runner at second and 2 away in the top of the first, trying to limit the damage and give the Scouts a fighting chance in this ball game.
Yeah, the strikeout helps. You keep Dixon over at second. Now Crockett has to deliver a hit in order to get the fourth run of the game in.
So runner at second and 2 away. The batter is Ryan Crockett. Crockett, a .218 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs for the Stanford Bulldog. First pitch to him. Fastball inside part of the plate. They'll say that one actually just missing on the inside. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Crockett, like we said, Sanford. Sanford is a Division I program in the great state of Alabama. A .171 hitter. With Sanford this past season, just 31 at-bats, 6 hits. He fouls the 1-0 pitch out of play. Right field side evens the count up 1-1. Crockett against the Scouts so far this year, 3 for 11 with 3 walks and 3 RBIs. And he bats from the right side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. Lozano looks like he'll step off for a second look back to Chris Ackerman. Runner at second and 2 away here in the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 2. Jorge Lozano now ahead in this count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with limited damage. So Crockett steps out, but then he steps back in. Lozano. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jorge Lozano's first and second strikeouts of this ball game in a big spot after allowing 3 runs in the top of the first inning. He will leave another guy over at second base, and that will do it for Hamilton in the top of the first. 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left aboard for the Joes. We have reached the middle of the first inning. The Joes with an early 3-0 lead here against the Xenia Scouts. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the first inning. Ryan Park leads things off. First pitch to him on the inside. 1 ball and no strikes the count. The Joes with a 3-0 lead as they get a quick and early start. The 1-0 pitch upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Park. It'll be Ryan Park followed by Aaron Takis and Jordan Lambert here at the minimum of the top of the first for the Scouts. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Park, a .272 hitter, 4 doubles, 9 RBIs. His 26 walks is first on the Scouts ball club. He takes curveball outside part of the plate, called strike 2. So the count evens up 2-2 here against Ryan Park. Pitch. And that one just upstairs. Park watching all the way. His fastball just above chest level. The count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch. And Park waves and misses there. Strike number 3. The starting pitcher here for these Hamilton Joes, Danny Hentz, off to a hot start. And Gabe, what do we have on Danny Hentz?
Danny Hentz on the year, a 6.17 ERA. This is his 8th appearance for the Joes. He's only pitched 11 2/3 innings, normally out of the bullpen, but just talking to some of the guys around the Hamilton Joes organization, they've had a lot of guys shut down.
First pitch to Aaron Takis on the outside of the plate. 1-0 and 1 to count.
A lot of guys shut down, and they've had to get some help. Hentz has given up 10 hits in 11 2/3.
Yeah, 1 pitch to Takis is hit on the ground ball left side. That'll find the hole and land in there for a base hit. So Aaron Takis has the Scouts' first hit of the game, and it's 1 on and 1 out here. And Aaron Takis continues to stay hot here for the Scouts.
8 earned runs given up by Hentz in those 11 2/3 innings. 13 walks, 8 strikeouts. He is 1-1 in his 7 appearances, with a 1.97 whip, I will say as well. So a little under 2 runners an inning.
First pitch to Jordan Lambert on the outside. Actually gets past the glove of the catcher, James Wick, but Aaron Takis not picking up on that one, and he will stay put. So all that is ball number 1 here to Jordan Lambert. Lambert, the left fielder, a 292 hitter on the year, 1 home run, 17 RBIs. He bats from the left side here against the righty, Danny Hentz. The 1-0 pitch, fastball taken by Lambert outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. A ball and a strike with 1 on and 1 out here in the home half of the first inning. The Scouts trail the Joes by a score of 3-0. Hentz looks to the catcher, Wick, the 1-1 pitch, and Lambert checks his swing. Did he go? The home plate umpire will say, yes, he did. Lambert quickly falling behind in this count, 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Lambert, a 292 batting average. That is second on the Xenia Scouts ball club. Second only, actually, to Aaron Takis, who just surpassed him. The runner, Takis, goes swinging him, just getting a piece of it there is Jordan Lambert. He fouls that one just to the left of home plate over towards the Scouts side. Got a very minimal piece of it. Looked like a hit and run there as the runner, Takis, going, but because of the foul ball, Aaron Takis will have to head back over to first base, and the count will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes here, with 1 away in the home half of the first.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, it looks like a hit and run, I agree, but with 2 strikes, I wouldn't be surprised if Takis was just going, and Lambert, if it was out of the zone, he would have taken it because there was 2 strikes on him.
Especially with the hot-hitting Kyle Casserly on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball, grounded foul. First base side will stay at 1-2. Jordan Lambert, well, he had not gone more than 3 straight games without an RBI until now. 5 straight games now without an RBI for Jordan Lambert, and that about perfectly coincides with the fact that the Scouts, as Lambert awaits the 1-2 pitch again, he just gets a piece of it yet again there. So the count will stay 1-2, but Lambert had not gone more than 3 straight games without an RBI until now. Now 5 straight. 5 straight in what is now this 6-game losing streak for the Xenia Scouts.
Yep.
So the pitcher, Hentz, looks to the catcher, Wick, the 1-2 pitch, and Lambert hits that one on the ground, slow roller, first base side. The pitcher tries to field his position, but he cannot hold on. That'll pop out of his glove. Jordan Lambert safe at first. Aaron Takis advances over to second. A big one there on a ground ball from Jordan Lambert, and now it's 2 on and 1 out here with a very hot-hitting Kyle Casserly.
And they're going to give Lambert a hit on that, which I think is the correct ruling.
Yeah, that ball just trickles kind of in a spot where neither the first baseman or the pitcher was in a realistic spot where they could cleanly field it. So the pitcher tries to field his position, but he just can't hold on. So now it's Kyle Casserly to the plate, Aaron Takis at second, Jordan Lambert at first here, 1 away in the home half of the first. First pitch to Casserly. That one low and away, gets past the glove of the catcher, James Wick, but he stays in front of it. So Lambert and Takis will have to stay put. The count now 1 ball and no strikes here to Kyle Casserly. Casserly, 10 multi-hit games this season, 3 of them coming in these last 6 ball games. 14 for 20 is Kyle Casserly. That's a .333 average as he watches on the outside. 2 balls and no strikes now. 14 for 20 with 5 walks and 5 RBIs over these past 10 games for him. He bats from the left side here against the righty Danny Hentz. Hentz looks to the catcher, Wick. Takis dancing over at second. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Curveball way upstairs and way outside. Now a 3-0 count here on Kyle Casserly. And Danny Hentz is either going to have to give him something in the zone or risk loading the bases for Donald Ring. The 3-0 pitch. Outside ball forward. Kyle Casserly draws his 20th walk of the season, and the Scouts have the bases loaded with 1 out here, and Donald Ring in a big spot. They cannot come out of this inning without a run.
And we saw it twice yesterday. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Scouts, and they didn't get a run either time. One of those times, it was exactly this situation. The first inning, Donald Ring at the plate, bases loaded, 1 out. He popped out to left field. We'll see if he can get a little revenge here.
Even more so than that, it was the exact same situation with Donald Ring followed by Chris Ackerman.
Yep.
So Donald Ring bats with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Ring, a fastball on the outside part of the plate taken for a called strike 1. Donald Ring, a .224 hitter, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home, or 7 doubles, no triples, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs for Ring. The 1-0 pitch, curveball finds the zone yet again. Ring taking all the way for the second time in a row, and he now is behind in this count, 0-2. Ring playing third base tonight. He bats from the left side against the righty Danny Hentz. The 0-2 pitch, just off the plate, taken there. Donald Ring has yet to swing the bat, and a close pitch there, but a good eye there by Ring. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the count. It's Aaron Takis at third, Jordan Lambert at second, and now Kyle Casserly over at first. The 1-2 pitch. Ring hits that one in the air, pretty deep center field. Going back to center fielder Riley Dent. He'll make the grab. Tagging at third is Aaron Takis. He will come home on the sacrifice fly. A sacrifice fly from Donald Ring gives the Scouts their first run of the game. The deficit now cut to 3-1.
And Lambert moves to third, so now if you're Ackerman, you have a chance with the base hit to bring home another run. But it's nice to see the Scouts get a run back after falling behind 3-0. Baseball is a very long game. Scouts definitely not out of this one.
So Jordan Lambert advancing to third there on the sacrifice fly, and that's a fundamental difference from what we saw yesterday. Yesterday, Ring hit one to the outfield, but just not very deep. It was caught by the shortstop. No one able to come home. First pitch now to Chris Ackerman. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. A called strike 1. Ackerman, a .188 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. But 37 strikeouts on the year for the catcher from Hillsdale College. That is most on the team. He hits one on the ground towards short. The shortstop underhand tosses it to the second baseman for the force out over at second. And that'll be out number 3 here in the bottom of the first. So the Scouts get 1 run on a couple of hits and leave 2 stranded in the home half of the first inning. We've played an inning of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail the Hamilton Joes by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the second inning of baseball we go here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailing the Hamilton Joes by a score of 3-1. It'll be James Wick, Ryan Zeals, and Riley Dent due up for the Joes here against Jorge Lozano in his second inning of work. First pitch here, swung and fouled down back into the plate. Nothing, and won the count to James Wick. Jorge Lozano in the first inning, he allowed 3 runs, allowed the first 3 guys to get on, and then stranded a guy over at second, but finished the inning off impressively with a couple of swinging strikeouts against Mason Deanna and Ryan Crockett. So in steps James Wick, no balls and a strike. Curveball there taken all the way by James Wick. So 0-2 goes the count. Wick, the catcher, not many at-bats this year for the Joes. 6 for 22. That's good for a .273 average. No extra base hits. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball way upstairs. Will fly over the head of Chris Ackerman. Nobody on base, so it doesn't matter. But 1 ball and 2 strikes goes the count. Lozano has allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. The Scouts have made 2 errors as well. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball in there for a called strike 3. James Wick goes down looking. Jorge Lozano puts a curveball in the lower outside part of the zone. His 3rd strikeout in a row, out number 1 here in the top of the 2nd.
And I'm telling you, this is exactly what we've seen from Lozano all year long. He struggles at the beginning, giving up 3 runs on 3 hits, and now he struck out 3 in a row.
First pitch to Ryan Zeals is hit hard up the middle of base hit. Ryan Zeals, before we could even introduce him, ropes one just straight up the middle where no one could get it. So the 4th hit here off of Lozano. And the Joes have 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 2nd, and back to that top of the order that just had their way with Jorge Lozano 1 inning ago. So it's back to Riley Dent. Riley Dent has seen 1 pitch this ball game. He just bunted one down the third base line. Ended up just staying fair. Donald Ring was waiting for it to go foul as Lozano is going to step off and look over the runner at first, Ryan Zeals. Ryan Zeals, that man has all kinds of speed. 21 steals in 26 attempts so far this year. Big pickoff attempt from Lozano over to first, not in time. For Zeals, he leads the league. Leads all of the Great Lakes League in stolen bases, and Lozano knows it. Pickoff attempt again, not in time yet again, so Lozano is still yet to throw a pitch here. To the leadoff man, Riley Dent, first pitch to him, and that one is going to get away from the catcher, Chris Ackerman, on a pitch out. Rounding second is Riley Zeals, and now he'll head back over to second. He was about midway between second and third base there, waiting for Chris Ackerman to make a decision. Ultimately, Ackerman chooses to just hold on to the ball, and Riley Zeals knows it. So he walks back over to second base, but just like that, once again, we'll call that one a passed ball, I assume. But a runner in scoring position with just 1 away and all kinds of speed on the base pass in Ryan Zeals. So he leads from second. Here's the pitch, and that ball fouled straight back into the screen, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Riley Dent, like we said, 1 for 1 on the day. The center fielder from Valparaiso, a .266 hitter on the year with 1 double and 4 RBIs. He bats from the left side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball taken on the outside part of the plate, a called strike 2. So Lozano working that curveball, especially on the outside part of the plate to a lefty, inside part of the plate to a righty. Either way, Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. Riley Zeals leads from second. The 1-2 pitch, and the runner goes. That one on the inside. Throw from Chris Ackerman over to third is high. Donald Ring jumps, and he saves that one from going into left field. But another stolen base here for Ryan Zeals. And now with the count 2-2 as the pitch from Lozano was on the inside, just a long fly ball from Riley Dent will bring another run home for the Hamilton Joes. 3-1 is the score here in the top of the 2nd. Lozano, he'll step off, wipe some sweat off of the forehead. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Bats from the left side against the righty Lozano. The 2-2 pitch. way on the outside. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lozano, who has looked very impressive at times and looked not so impressive at times in this game. He's already struck out 3, allowing 3 runs as well on 4 hits. The pitch, way on the outside, upstairs, and outside ball 4. Well, that one got away from Lozano, and he knew it the moment it came out of his hand. So he issues his first walk of the evening, and it's runners at the corners with 1 away, and Genesis Hillard coming to the plate.
Yeah, and it's like 2 different pitchers out there, and it can flip just like a switch. You see him start really bad, then he strikes out 3 in a row to get in a little bit of a groove, and now the hit to Zeals and the walk to Dent, in which a couple of those pitchers were way outside the zone.
So now it's Genesis Hillard to the plate. He swings at first pitch, ground ball over to short. The throw to second in time. The throw to first, not in time. Wow. Steve Hammond making a very weird motion. It was a chopper over towards short. He goes to second for 1. That was in time. You get the lead runner. Ange Bourgeois' throw over to first. Looked like Steve Hammond started to do the safe sign and then started to do the out sign and then did the safe sign. So regardless, a run comes home there on the ground ball. Ryan Zeal scores from third. Riley Dent out at second for out number 2, and Genesis Hillard safe at first on what will be marked down as a fielder's choice. First pitch now to Trey Turner. That one taken on the inside, ball 1. Trey Turner, the right fielder from Arizona State, 1 for 1 on the evening. A .258 hitter with 5 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and 21 RBIs. An extra base hit threat. No questions asked. Pickoff attempt over to first to try to get Hillard will not be in time. And that is a difficult one on the double play ball for if you're Jorge Lozano thinking you're about to get out of it, as he delivers the 1-0 pitch. Way on the inside again, 2-0.
Yeah, that was a good turn from Takis and Bourgeois because honestly, right off the bat, I didn't think they had a chance at turning 2. The ground ball was too slow. Took a couple high hops before it got to Takis, and it turns out we had a shot, just missed it.
2-0 pitch. That one fastball inside part of the plate taken all the way by Trey Turner. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Trey Turner has had his way with the Scouts this season. 19 for 29 against Xenia so far this year. It's better than a 300 batting average, folks. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball upstairs and inside. Showing bunt there was Trey Turner, but he pulls back as that pitch way on the inside, and the count moves 3-1.
19 for 29 or 9 for 29?
1-9 for 2-9.
Wow. I didn't realize the number was that high.
Oh, no, it's 9 for 29. Okay. Oh, my gosh, I can't read. Okay, so 3 balls and 1 strike to count here. That would be absurd. That would be like a 666 batting average. But y'all have to keep in mind that I believe Trey Turner maybe has 16 or 17 hits all year.
Trey Turner has 25 hits all year.
25 hits, but 9 of them coming against Xenia. 3-1 pitch is on the inside, ball 4. So Trey Turner walks, and it's runners at the corners here, and Jorge Lozano has a big out to make in Nigel Williams. 4-1 is the score here in the top of the second. It was 3 runs that came home for the Joes in the top of the first. 1 already here in the top of the second, and now the bases are – oh, no, it's runners at first and second with 2 away. Nigel Williams grounded out his first time up, got an RBI on it as a run came home. That was the second run of this ball game for the Joes. A .288 hitter, 9 doubles, 1 home run. He swings at first pitch in the air, foul territory. The first baseman, Kyle Casserly, comes under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of men left aboard for the Hamilton Joes in the top of the second. We have reached the middle of the second inning here at Grady's Field in Xenia. 4-1 Joes is your score. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the second inning here. The Scouts are already trailing this game by a score of 4-1, but they put that one run up in the bottom of the first, trying to strike again here in the home half of the second. First pitch to Ange Bourgeois, a fastball. That one missing on the outside, 1 ball and no strikes the count. Bourgeois, Dylan Lottenville, and Francisco Andina do up for Xenia here in the home half of the second. 1-0 pitch taken by Bourgeois on the outside, 2 balls and no strikes, moves the count. Bourgeois, a .228 hitter, 4 doubles, a triple, and 7 RBIs. The pitch, outside ball 3. So 3 pitches seen here by Ange Bourgeois, all 3 of them missing on the outside. And they will have to give him something to hit or risk putting the leadoff man aboard. The 3-0 pitch, that one a fastball, catching the outside part of the zone, a called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count now to Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois bats from the left side here against the righty Danny Hentz. The pitch upstairs. Or
Scoreboard must have been off.
I guess so. Did you not see 3 pitches to start that at bat?
I thought so as well.
The 3-1 pitch now. And that one is swinging strikes. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. I think they might be missing a pitch, honestly. I think the scoreboard was wrong. They might be going by the scoreboard. There was 3 pitches, unless they called one of them like there was time before it or something. The 3-2 pitch, and Bourgeois hits that one foul, out of play, left field side. We will stay at 3-2. Ange Bourgeois, the native of Salt Lake City, Utah, plays his college baseball at Biola University in the city of Los Angeles. 3-2 pitch again. That one hit in the air. Medium depth left field, going under it, the left fielder Genesis Hillard. He'll make the grab, 1 away here in the bottom of the second. So Bourgeois gets under that one a little bit, but can't put it out. So now it's Dylan Lottenville coming to the plate. Dylan Lottenville, the right fielder from Hillsdale College. Well, he's had a tough time so far this season. 7 hits and 70 at-bats for the right fielder. 3 of those 7 hits, I should say, are doubles. First pitch to him. That one taken on the outside, low and away. 1 ball and no strike for Lottenville. 28 strikeouts this season, but 18 walks for the right fielder from Hillsdale. He hits that one in the air, shallow right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Dylan Lottenville has his 8th hit of the season, and the Scouts with 1 on here and 1 away in the home half of the second. Sounded like a broken bat there, Gabe.
Hey, either way, Lottenville's going to take whatever he can get, and the ball flew a little bit. That drops in right center, and it's good to see him get a hit here tonight.
So with Lottenville over at first, it's Francisco Andina to the plate. Francisco Andina, the 9-hitter in this order, a .171 hitter on the year, 5 doubles, and is tied for 3rd on the team. First pitch to him, fastball taken on the outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Andina, he has walked 23 times this season and is tied for 2nd on the Xenia Scouts Ball Club. He bats from the left side. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside part of the plate taken in the exact same spot. No balls and 2 strikes here to Francisco Andina. Andina, it's been rough of late. He got his first hit in 6 games yesterday, make him 1 for 21 since that All-Star break. He awaits the 0-2 pitch. The runner Lottenville goes. Check swing. Did he go? Throw over to second will be off the line. Dylan Lottenville with his first stolen base of the year. And looks like they will say that Francisco Andina held off on that pitch. A good check swing. So Dylan Lottenville advances into scoring position here. Still 1 away, and Francisco Andina with an opportunity to advance him or keep this inning going. Andina bats from the left side here against the righty Danny Hentz. Lottenville leads over from second. The 1-2 pitch. And that one, a ground ball over towards second base. The second baseman, Deanna, picks it up, throws over to first in time to get Francisco Andina. But a quality at bat in some ways is Dylan Lottenville advancing from second to third base on that one. So the stolen base goes a long way at the end of the day. That could have been an inning double play without it.
You read my mind, my friend. You read my mind.
I guess we've just been spending too much time together. We're all always on the same page these days. So with 2 away and a runner at third, it's the leadoff man, Ryan Park, to the plate. First pitch to Park. Curveball outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Ryan Park He was the first and only strikeout victim of Hamilton Joe's starter Danny Hentz in this ball game. Park bats from the left side against the righty. The 1-0 pitch, curveball missing on the outside that time, evens the count up 1-1. It's Dylan Lottenville at third and 2 away here in the home, trying to come back from what is a 4-1 deficit early in this ball game. The 1-1 pitch to Park. Ooh, fastball up or outside part of the zone, a called strike 2. So Ryan Park behind in this count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but 2 away. Hence, looks to the catcher, James Wick. He sets and delivers. Curveball just off the plate, ball number 2.
Yeah, and home plate umpire Steve Hammond being a little inconsistent with that outside corner tonight.
So now 2 balls. Park has drawn 26 walks this year and is most on the Xenia Scouts. 2-2 curveball missing yet again. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here. Park, a .272 hit around the year, a .446 on base percentage for the catcher from Point Loma Nazarene. The 3-2 pitch, and Park hits that one on the ground. The first baseman fields it, fielding his position is the pitcher, Danny Henson. He will take the toss from the first baseman, mark that down as a 3-1. Out number 3 here in the bottom of the second. So the Scouts get a hit from Dylan Lottenville, but cannot bring him home from third with 2 away. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for Xenia. We have played 2 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail the Hamilton Joes by a score of 4-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Inning number 3 of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trailing the Joes by a score of 4-1. Jorge Lozano out for his 3rd inning of work. First pitch from him. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. The batter is Frank Dixon. Dixon, the first baseman from Arizona State, a .298 hitter on the year. That is 14 hits and 47 at-bats coming into this game. The 0-1 pitch upstairs and outside. 1-1 goes the count. Dixon, his first time up, a double that brought Trey Turner, his Arizona State teammate, home to score. A 1-1 pitch hit on the ground over towards second base. Ange Bourgeois shuffles over, fields it cleanly, throws over to first in time. 1 away.
Good play by Bourgeois to shuffle over to his right there, get in front of that ball instead of backhanding it.
So a good defensive play there by Ange Bourgeois and a good quick out here for Jorge Lozano in his 3rd inning of work. It's going to bring the second baseman, normally the catcher, Mason Deanna, to the plate. Mason Deanna, his first time against Jorge Lozano, he went down swinging. Strikeout victim 1 of 3 for Jorge Lozano so far this evening. He bats from the right side here against the righty. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1 goes the count. Looks like Lozano had him fooled as that ball was way low. Deanna, a .278 hitter around the year, a couple of doubles, a triple, or 3 triples, it says, and 10 RBIs. 3 triples. Well, that's a lot of triples. The 0-1 pitch on the inside evens the count up 1-1. Mason Deanna from the University of Cincinnati, a guy that we saw on this Hamilton Joes team last year when the Scouts and the Joes were the 2 best teams in the Southern Division of the Great Lakes League. 1-1 pitch fouled out of play. Right field side, we will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Deanna, he was a big part of that team, but not as much of a big part of his Cincinnati Bearcats ball club. Just 31 at-bats for the Bearcats. He got 6 hits. That's good for a 194 average on the year. He awaits the 1-2 pitch from Lozano. Lozano delivers. That one taken just low. The fastball evens up the count 2-2. And yesterday against the Scouts, Deanna took a 1-for-3 day with a walk. His one hit, of course, was a double. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed strike three. Dropped third strike. Chris Ackerman picks it up, throws over to first. And the throw over to first will pull Kyle Casserly off the bag. Wow. That's terrible. I mean, partially, I'm going to give Ackerman a slightly some credit here because it looked like the home plate umpire, Steve Hammond, as that ball was dropped, was like standing over Ackerman, and Ackerman couldn't get up. But then, so Ackerman was about to rush the throw. He then, like, almost takes a second as if to say, I'm going to calm myself down and make a good throw here. And the throw is just a foot to the right and pulls Kyle Casserly off the bag. So I guess that is the, fifth or the fourth strikeout of the day for Jorge Lozano, but safe at first is Mason Deanna. And that's a tough one. That's a tough pill to swallow there, Gabe.
Yeah, Ackerman still got up in plenty of time, like you said, and it's like he double clutched himself and just threw it wide.
Well, so regardless, it happened. Now it's Mason Deanna over at first and Ryan Crockett at the plate with one away here in the home half of the third. First pitch to Crockett is on the inside. 1 ball and no strike to count. Crockett, he also struck out his first time up against Jorge Lozano. That was out number 3 back in the first inning. Crockett bats from the right side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. 218 hit around the year, 3 doubles, a home run, and 7 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. The runner goes. Throw over to second will be not in time. What? Are you serious? And Bubba Cates is going to come out to argue because that was so obviously out at second. By a mile.
Deanna had to avoid the tag, and I will admit he got past Takis.
Oh, you think he did?
No, a tad. But he was so far away from the bag because he had to avoid Takis that Takis put the tag on his back, and Deanna wasn't even close to the second base bag. That's the second call Wes Legg has had to make tonight that's been very questionable.
Yeah, 1 ball and 1 strike the count now. Mason Deanna over at second base. Ryan Crockett, he awaits the pitch, and that ball fouled straight back into the plate. The count moves 1-2, and that's tough. That's tough, Gabe. Hopefully this one doesn't come back to bite Jorge Lozano here as the Scouts, already in a 4-1 deficit. They have little wiggle room already.
Mason Deanna should be out twice with the strikeout and the stolen base.
Oh, yeah, that's 2 outs here by one player who's trying to score. But the count now, a ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Crockett. The pitch from Lozano. And that one fastball on the inside. That is ball number 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 1 away in the top of the third inning. The runner at second is Mason Deanna. And is what has already been a very interesting inning so far. And that's to say the least. Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball hit on ground, foul, third base side. We'll stay at 2-2. Ryan Crockett has extended already. One guy, 5. This past Umka. Staying alive in this count, fouled a couple balls off. As Lozano is going to look back over the lead runner, Mason Deanna, over at second. And hopefully Jorge Lozano able to keep his cool here. Not get too worried about the fact that this third strike already coming back to bite him. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Crockett, in his last 7 ball games, 6 for 20. That's a 300 batting average with a walk over the past 7. 218, his highest batting average since the 3rd game of the year. So he has struggled mightily. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Ryan Crockett draws a walk after getting ahead in the count 1-2. And with our runners at first and second here, James Wick to the plate. Ryan Zeals on deck. The Scouts really should be looking for a double play ball here, as that would, hopefully, that would get him out of it, but it's just a tough pill to swallow so far. So James Wick to the plate. His first time up, he went down looking. He was the third strikeout victim of Jorge Lozano. Lozano has allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. The Scouts have made 2 errors in the field over this period of time. The first pitch. Well, that one finds the zone, a called strike. James Wick from Elmhurst College, a .273 hitter on the year. That's 6 for 23. So he came in as a .273 hitter on the year. That number will have gone down. 6 strikeouts in 23 at-bats. As Lozano is going to step off, still looking over. The runner Mason Deanna over at second. It's Deanna at second and Ryan Crockett at first here. Lozano looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike moves the count. James Wick playing catcher tonight. He bats from the right side here against the righty Lozano. A long inning. Well, at least it's felt like one. Already here. The 1-1 pitch. And that ball hit on the ground but foul third base side. Lozano ahead in this count 1-2. So how did we get here, folks, for those of you just tuning in? Frank Dixon led the inning off with a ground out over to second base. That was a first pitch ground out. It was then a strikeout from Mason Deanna, but a drop third strike. He ends up being safe as the throw over to first pulled Kyle Casserly off the bag. Deanna then stole second, should have been out. And then Ryan Crockett walked. The 1-2 pitch low, that gets past Ackerman. Both runners will advance 90 feet. And just no help at all whatsoever here. Lozano doesn't have his stuff, and it seems like everything's collapsing around him as well.
Yeah, you want to say Ackerman should have maybe blocked that ball.
That ball is low.
But then, you can't. You got to mention that the pitch in the first place was low. Was the blame on Ackerman, despite.
Gotta hit your spots at the end of the day. Second baseman Ange Bourgeois now coming in. Shortstop Aaron Takis coming in as well. The count now 2-2, and Lozano now with the double play ball off with runners at first and second and 1 out. On what is, in our observation here in this press box, it is a hot one on this Wednesday in July here at Grady's Field. The pitch from Lozano, fouled straight back into the plate, staying alive. It's James Wick. The count will remain 2-2.
And Ackerman got hit on the leg there off the bat of James Wick, limping a little bit, trying to shake it off. The home plate umpire, Steve Hammond, giving him some time by walking out and giving a ball to Lozano.
So Lozano gives Ackerman some time. The shadows now going out over towards right field here as the sun beginning to set. We're almost an hour into this baseball game, probably a little over an hour, actually. It's Deanna at third, Ryan Crockett at second, 1 out here in the top of the third. 4-1 Joes is the score. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count here to James Wick. The pitch from Lozano, and that ball hit on the ground towards short. Aaron Takis can't field it cleanly. He will throw over to first in time to get the runner at first, James Wick. But the point of bringing the infield in there was to be able to get the runner at home if they tried to go on a ground ball. And unfortunately, the ball pops in and out of the glove of Takis on the ground ball. He's able to recover well, but still that run ends up coming home.
Yeah, the second hop was a short hop for Aaron Takis, and he went to field the short hop, and just like you said, pops right on out, had to pick it up, and his only play was first base.
So first pitch to the 9-man in the order, Ryan Zeals. That's on the inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ryan Zeals has already contributed in a big way in this game. He he singled in the second inning, advanced on a pass ball, stole third, and then ended up coming home to score On a fielder's choice off the bat of Genesis Hillard. He hits a hard foul ball down the third base line. The count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away here with a runner at third. 5-1 Hamilton Jones is the score early. And there have just been a number of contributing factors, you would say. But it has just not been pretty for Xenia thus far. So a ball and a strike now the count. Zeals bats from the right side against the righty. The pitch. And Lozano delivers slider that time off the plate. 2 balls and a strike moves the count. Ryan Zeals from Miami Hamilton. A .271 hitter. His 7 doubles is second on this Hamilton Jones ball club. 1 triple, 13 RBIs. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They will say he did not. Appeal to the field umpire. Says he did not. So Jorge Lozano quickly behind in this count, 3-1. And you do not want to walk a guy with 21 steals. Now I guess 22 steals. He's already stolen 1 today. 22 steals on the season, the leading bag stealer in the game. The 3-1 pitch, and that one is lined over the glove of the third baseman, Donald Ring. That will roll to the wall on the left field side. 1 run comes home to score. Ryan Zeals has his 8th double of the year, and that RBI double extends the Hamilton Jones lead to 6-1.
Good piece of hitting by Ryan Zeals there. Excuse me.
Well, yeah.
Took a pitch over the inside part of the plate, roped it down the third base line.
Just on the hitter's 3-1 count, he knew what he was waiting for, and he absolutely hammers that one. Donald Ring is not Michael Jordan and cannot jump that high, so unfortunately, a nice double there for Ryan Zeals. Like we said, his 8th of the season. The score now 6-1 in favor of the Hamilton Joes. Bubba Gates going to come out to the mound to have a word with Jorge Lozano yet again. A tough one.
This has been a long 2 2/3 of an inning.
No kidding. We are more than an hour in already. The Scouts still have not batted in the home half, obviously. That is to come. And it has just been a struggle in a lot of ways. Lozano has not done himself any favors. Like we said, he's allowed 6 runs, but on 5 hits. And it looks like we see Jack Rains is going to go out to the bullpen to warm up for these Scouts. The Scouts trailing by a score of 6-1 now in the top of the third. Still 1 out left to go and a runner in scoring position. The good news for Xenia is they have done decently themselves. They have 3 hits, so they have got 4 base runners on so far today. Just the first time through the lineup, or the first +1, is Ryan Park, the only batter in the lineup to go twice. So hopefully Xenia can get something going here, trailing by 5 runs very early in this contest. But now it's back to the top of the Hamilton Joes order for the 3rd time today. Riley Dent, 1 for 1, a single and a walk so far today. He bats from the left side here against the righty Jorge Lozano. Dent, a .266 hitter on the year. A double and 4 RBIs. First pitch to him. That one flared in the air, left field. In comes Jordan Lambert. He'll make the grab. Out number 3. But 2 runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for the Hamilton Joes. We have reached the middle of the 3rd inning. The score is now 6-1 in favor of the Hamilton Joes. But don't go anywhere, folks. Plenty of baseball left to play. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the home half of the third inning. The Scouts now trailing by a score of 6-1 here against the Hamilton Joes. It'll be Aaron Takis, Jordan Lambert, and Kyle Casserly due up for Xenia this inning. First pitch to Takis. Fastball taken on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Takis is 1 for 1 on the day. He singled and came around to score on a Donald Ring sac fly, the only run that the Scouts have scored all evening long. 1-0 pitch upstairs and outside. 2-0 goes the count. Takis, a 295 hitter. Coming into this contest, that is tops on the team. And he hits one on the ground over towards second base. The second baseman, Deanna, comes in, picks it up, throws over to first in time. Out number 1. So Aaron Takis retired quickly here. And that'll bring Jordan Lambert to the plate.
And you hope the middle of your lineup right here can get something going in the third, already trailing 6-1.
Jordan Lambert, a 292 hitter on the year. That's with 5 doubles, a home run, and 17 RBIs. First pitch to Lambert. In the dirt on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes is the count here. Lambert from the University of Tennessee Martin. Second on the team as he fouls one straight back into the plate. 1-1. Second among active Xenia Scouts players in batting average. First among active Scouts in RBIs. He watches curveball upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike here. 1 out with nobody on in the bottom of the third. 6-1 Joes is the score. The 2-1 pitch to Lambert. That one is hit high in the air, deep right field, but just not deep enough. The center fielder calls off the right fielder, makes the grab. 2 away. That ball hit very high in the air, but just not very deep.
High and pretty hard. Lambert got just under the ball, and instead of a extra base hit to the gap, that ball hangs, like you said, and there's 2 down here in the third.
So with 2 quick outs, it's going to bring Kyle Casserly to the plate. Kyle Casserly has not recorded an official at-bat yet today. He walked his first time up. And for Casserly, who has been very hot as of late, hopefully you can get something going here. Casserly had his second home run of the season in yesterday's contest. So Casserly, 14 for 20, a 333 average over his last 10 games. 5 walks, 5 RBIs. First pitch to him. Curveball taken in the zone. Outside part of the plate called strike 1. Casserly from Wright State University by way of West Virginia. He fouls the 0-1 pitch straight back. Kyle Casserly down to his last strike in this at-bat, trying to prevent the Scouts from going down in order for the first time this game. Xenia's managed 1 run on 3 hits. The Joes have managed 6 runs on just 5 hits. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt on the outside, 1-2. Casserly, an extra base hitter by all means. The team leader in doubles, triples, and home runs. He watches on the outside yet again. The count goes 2-2. First on the team in doubles, first on the team in triples, first on the team in home runs, third on the team in RBIs, third on the team in walks, and third on the team in stolen bases. This guy has been productive as he watches curveball on the outside yet again. So after falling behind in the count, 0-2, Kyle Casserly brings the count back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Casserly, he bats from the left side here against the righty Danny Hentz. The 3-2 pitch from Hentz. And Casserly hits that one sky high in the air, left field, not very deep. Genesis Hillard, the left fielder for the Hamilton Joes, has it. He'll make the grab. Out number 3. So the Scouts go down in order. A 1-2-3 inning for Danny Hentz. No runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard for the Scouts. We have played 3 innings of baseball. Xenia trails Hamilton by a score of 6-1. Looks like a new pitcher coming into the game for the Scouts. It'll be Jack Rains, and Gabe Genovesi will bring you all the action when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
We head to the fourth here at Grady's Field, a 6-1 Hamilton Joe lead over the Xenia Scouts. As we head to the top half of the fourth inning, Jack Rains into pitch for the Xenia Scouts. He'll face the 2-3-4 hitters for the Joes, and Genesis Hillard, Trey Turner, and Nigel Williams. Jorge Lozano's final line, 3 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Lozano. And now Jack Rains, who is one of the best pitchers on this Xenia Scouts pitching squad, comes in here in the fourth. He has the arm to go multiple innings, not just a 1 or 2 inning guy. We've seen him start and go 7 deep before, I want to say, is the deepest he's gone. Rains a 3.08 ERA in 35 innings pitched. He's given up 34 hits in those 35 innings, so just under a hit an inning. Only 12 earned runs given up by Rains, and the most impressive number, 6 walks, 37 strikeouts for Jack Rains. He's 1-1 in his 10 appearances. A 1.14 whip, walks plus hits per innings pitched, so just over a runner in inning given up by Jack Rains. Opponent's bat 254 against the lefty from Baldwin Wallace. He sets. First pitch to Hillard. Fastball misses just off the outside corner, 1-0. Genesis Hillard, 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch on the evening. He actually reached on a fielder's choice his second time up. The 1-0 pitch, outside ball 2. So Hillard doesn't have a hit today, but he's been on base both times, and on that ground out, on the grounder, the fielder's choice, he got his 13th RBI of the year back in the second inning to score Ryan Zeals. That was the 4th run of the game for the Joes. Hillard bats from the right side against the lefty Rains. The 2-0 pitch popped up deep center field. Ondina chasing back, going back to the warning track, and he'll watch it one-hop the fence, and it will go over the center field fence. That ball just kept carrying out to the deepest part of this park. It is 397 out to deep center. Genesis Hillard has his 3rd double of the season. And that'll bring up Trey Turner for the Joes with a runner on second and nobody down. Turner, a 258 hitter on the year. He's 1 for 1 with a walk tonight. A single in the first inning, came around to score the 3rd run of the game. Walked his last time up in the second inning. Turner, a redshirt freshman from Arizona State. A fantastic athlete on this Hamilton squad. As he steps in, he'll bat from the right side. Rains takes a sign from the catcher, Ackerman. The first pitch from Rains to Turner. Way outside. A good job by Ackerman to pop out of his crouch and stop that one from going to the backstop. 1-0. Trey Turner. I mentioned the athleticism. He was recruited for football and baseball out of high school. Went to Arizona State and was actually on both rosters. He redshirted in both sports this past season. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball catches the outside edge, strike 1. So obviously, because of the redshirt, he did not see any action in baseball or football. We have learned that he recently dropped football at Arizona State. He was listed as a running back. The 1-1 pitch. Another curveball at the knee, strike 2. So Turner will just focus on baseball, but boy, was he a fantastic running back out of high school. Again, only a redshirt freshman is Turner. A 4.38 40-yard dash for Trey Turner. He was listed by ESPN as a 4-star prospect and the number 25 running back in the country. Rains checks second. Hillard with a decent-sized lead. Now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball blew it by him. Strike 3. Jack Rains gets his first strikeout of the evening. 1 away here in the 4th. Genesis Hillard still on second. A 6-1 Hamilton Joe lead. And that'll bring up Nigel Williams for the Hamilton Joes. Williams 0 for 2 today. An RBI ground out in the first inning. Popped up popped up in foul territory to Kyle Casserly in the second inning. Williams bats from the right side. A little bit of an open stance in the batter's box. Bat waving above his back shoulder. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Williams playing third base this evening for the Hamilton Joes. Nigel Williams is 21 for 73 on the year. That's a .288 average. 9 of those 21 hits have been doubles. He leads the Hamilton Joes squad in doubles. Now Rain sets the 1-0 delivery. Inside, ball 2. Williams, the junior from Lake Erie College, has a little 3-game hit streak going coming into tonight. Extended that yesterday with a 1-for-3 day against the Scouts. And Hamilton's 7-3 victory last night. The pitch, runner going. Ackerman's throw to third is in time. Genesis Hillard is caught stealing. A good throw by Chris Ackerman. Down to the third baseman, Donald Ring. And now there's 2 down here in the 4th with nobody on. And Jack Rains, after giving off the leadoff double, is 1 out away from getting out of the 4th. However, the count 3-0 on Nigel Williams as that pitch was low. Williams, I mentioned the 9 doubles as Rain sets the 3-0 delivery. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. 6 of those doubles have come in the past 8 games for Nigel Williams. He has 4 multi-hit games in his last 8 as well. He's been on fire for the Hamilton Joes. The 3-1. Fastball chopped toward a third, foul. It'll roll all the way into the corner down the left field line. The count now 3-2 on Nigel Williams. Williams batting .355 over his last 10 games. Has really raised the average here over the past week and a half. The 3-2 pitch. Off speed, chopped foul down the third baseline once again. We'll stay at 3-2. And my guess would be the Scouts are expecting Jack Rains to at least pitch the 4th through 6th tonight, if not maybe the 7th, go 3 or 4 innings. See if the Scouts can make a comeback in the middle innings, and that'll depend on who we throw in the final couple. The 3-2 to Nigel Williams. Inside at the knees, he got him. A strikeout looking. Nigel Williams doesn't like the call, but Rains jogs off the field with a couple of strikeouts to end the 4th. The leadoff double does no harm for Jack Rains, and the Scouts head to the bottom half of the 5th, down 6-1. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The Scouts trail the Hamilton Joes 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Donald Ring, Chris Ackerman, and Ange Bourgeois, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, due up for the Xenia Scouts here in the home half of the 4th. Danny Hentz back out on the mound for the Joes. First pitch to Ring. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Donald Ring bats from the left side. A sacrifice fly, his first time up in the 1st inning. The pitch, high at the chin, 1-1. The Scouts loaded the bases with one down in the first. Ring's sac fly brought in the only run of the game for Xenia. The 1-1. Popped up, foul territory, third base line. The third baseman Williams chasing. He watches it go out of play behind the Scouts dugout. The count now 1-2 on Donald Ring. Ring picked up his 8th RBI of the year with the sacrifice fly. The Joes in the top half of the fourth. That was their first inning, not scoring in this ballgame. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. A good off-speed pitch from Danny Hentz to get Donald Ring one down here in the fourth.
And for Don, the strikeout has just been a problem recently. Now that's 29 on the year. That makes him the sole possession of second most on the Xenia Scouts ball club. So even though he has done a good job getting extra base hits, unfortunately for Ring, the strikeout has just been an issue all year long.
First pitch to Ackerman. Misses low, 1-0. Chris Ackerman's 0 for 1 today. A ground out to the shortstop Zeals his first time up. That ended that first inning for the Scouts. The pitch. Grounded left side. Picked up by the shortstop Zeals. Fires over to first. And Ackerman is out at first base, 2 away.
Yeah, long throw for the shortstop Zeals there. And for the first baseman, Frank Dixon, who's not particularly tall, especially for a first baseman, he literally had to extend about as much as he physically could there to get that ball, but they just beat out Chris Ackerman so the Scouts have now gone down 7 in a row.
First pitch to Bourgeois, off speed, misses high and away, 1-0. Bourgeois, 228 hitter on the year. He's 0 for 1 tonight. A fly out to the left fielder Hillard, his first time up in the second inning. The 1-0 pitch misses outside once again, 2-0. Ange Bourgeois hitting 240 over the last week. So the 240 average, actually his batting average a little as he's hitting 228 on the year. The 2-0 pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Against the Hamilton Joes, Ange Bourgeois is 6 for 27 with a couple of walks and a couple RBIs, so he has had success against the Joes in the past. The 2-1 pitch catches the outside corner, 2-2. As Danny Hentz continues to pitch outside to these lefty hitters of the Xenia Scouts.
Danny Hentz, not big punch-out stuff, but chance here against Bourgeois.
2-2, pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Danny Hentz gets his third strikeout of the evening, and the Scouts go down 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row. 6-1 Joes, we head to the fifth. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the fifth here at Grady's Field, a 6-1 Xenia Scouts deficit against the Hamilton Joes here at home. Jack Raines back out for his second inning of relief. He'll face Frank Dixon, Mason Deanna, and Ryan Crockett, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Hamilton Joes. And Raines' first inning, he gave up the leadoff double to Genesis Hillard, but then Hillard was caught stealing. Raines strikes out 2 in a row to end the inning. And now first pitch to Frank Dixon. Popped up left field. Lambert Ranging over to his left, makes the grab. One away here in the fifth. One pitch, one out for Jack Rains.
And that is exactly what you want to see if you're Jack Rains, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Xenia Scouts pitching coach Corey Coobs, who definitely does have vested interest in Rains going, like you said earlier, as long into this game as possible, give the offense some time to get something going and hopefully get this team back into the game.
Mason Deanna steps up to the plate now for the Joes. Deanna, a 278 hitter. He bats from the right side. The junior from Cincinnati. First pitch from Jack Rains. Outside corner, strike one. Mason Deanna is 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. But one of the strikeouts in the third inning, a dropped third strike to throw from Ackerman wide. Deanna reached base and came around to score the fifth run of the game for the Joes. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Deanna was 1 for 3 with a double yesterday against the Scouts. He's now 7 for 15 with 4 walks and 4 RBIs against Scouts pitching. That's pretty dang good. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike two.
Great curveball there from Jack Rains. That looked like it broke from looking like it was going to finish if you're a clock at 3 o'clock, ends up breaking at about 7 and finishing at about 7 o'clock. Pretty nasty curveball from the lefty there.
Deanna has been struggling as of late. He's 3 for 21 in his last 7 games. The 1-2. Swung on and missed another drop third. Ackerman picks up the ball, fires down to first. This time he makes the play. 2 down here in the fifth.
Yeah, and once again, just another nasty, it looked like a 2-7 curveball right there again, and Mason Deanna was going chasing. So Deanna, who, like you mentioned earlier, Gabe, has been dominant against the Scouts so far this year. Well, he's come to the plate 3 times and has 3 strikeouts to show for it.
And in steps Ryan Crockett. He'll bat from the right side against the lefty Jack Rains. Crockett waving the bat above his back shoulder, and that pitch misses way inside to Crockett, 1-0.
One of the storylines this year is Jack Rains getting snubbed from the All-Star game. No respect.
I mentioned Rains, 6 walks, 37 strikeouts. Now the 1-0. Lined foul, 1-1, and make it 6 walks, 40 strikeouts for Jack Rains with the 3 tonight.
And he's just getting started.
Crockett's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. He walked his last time up in the third, came around to score the 6th run of the game on an RBI double from Ryan Zeals. Struck out his first time up in the first inning. He was the second victim of Jorge Lozano. The 1-1. Low, 2-1 to Ryan Crockett. Lozano pitches 3 innings. He gives up 5 hits and 6 runs. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and 4 strikeouts for Jorge Lozano, who continues to struggle here in the summer of 2017.
That in reality could be the finality of the struggling.
The 2-1 just misses the inside edge, 3-1. And yeah, that could be very easily be Jorge Lozano's last innings as a Xenia Scout.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I could see that we could possibly see maybe 1 or 2 in relief.
On Sunday, maybe.
Sunday, yeah.
The 3-1 pitch. Curveball misses low, ball 4. Jack Rains issues his first walk of the day. 1 on with 2 outs for the Joes here in the 5th.
If you're Jack Rains, just shake it off. You got a guy in James Wick coming to the plate. That's 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. And, these Hamilton Joes, they've been punching out pretty frequently here so far. It's amazing. They've managed 6 runs already.
Wick did not play last night against the Scouts. He only has 10 games with an at-bat for the Hamilton Joes. He's 0 for 2 tonight. His last time up, a ground out to the shortstop Takis, but he did pick up his first RBI of the year with that ground out in the 3rd inning. That was the one the infield was in for the Scouts. And the first pitch to Wick. Blooped right field, tailing, foul ball down the right field line, 0-1. And Aaron Takis on that ground ball by Wick just bobbled it, fell out of his glove, and had to go to first with it instead of going home for the out.
One of many just unfortunate, tough situations that the Scouts have had so far today. Like the infield was playing in on that play for the sole purpose of Takis to be able to go home on that play or at least hold the runner at third. But unfortunately for the Scouts, just the bobble gave the runner at third just enough time to come home.
Wick, a senior at Elmhurst College. Bats from the right side, a 6'2", 195-pound hitter. And now that one catches the outside corner, 0-2. Wick, who is 6 for 22 on the year, went 3 for 4 in his first game of the summer at the Galleon Graders a few weeks ago. Ever since, he's 3 for 18 in his last 9 games. As I mentioned, he only has 10 games with an at-bat this year. Rain sets, the 0-2 delivery. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3. Jack Rains gets his 4th strikeout of the evening. He allows a walk, but no runs. No runs on no hits, 1 left aboard for the Hamilton Joes. We head to the home half of the 5th. The Scouts trail 6-1. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The Xenia Scouts trail the Hamilton Joes 6-1 as we head to the home half of the 5th inning. Dylan Lottenville, Francisco Andina, and Ryan Park, the 8-9-1 hitters for the Scouts, due up here in the 5th. Lottenville steps up. He's 1 for 1 today with a single in the 2nd inning. Only his 8th hit of the year. He's now 8 for 71 on the 2017 summer. First pitch to Lottenville. Inside corner, strike 1. Danny Hentz back out for his 5th inning of work for the Joes. He's pitched 2 straight 1-2-3 innings in the 3rd and the 4th. That pitch misses outside, 1-1. Lottenville, the junior from Hillsdale College, has struggled this summer. That pitch hits Lottenville right on the back. He turned away from it, took it in the lower back. He's on for the 2nd time here in the 5th.
Yeah, Lottenville getting plunked there. That's the 2nd time he's been hit by a pitch so far this season. And Dylan Lottenville over at first. Possibly a good sign for the Scouts getting the leadoff man aboard. Their first base runner since Lottenville himself singled his last time up.
Yeah, Danny Hentz had retired. 8 straight Scouts. And now Francisco Andina steps up to the plate. First pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Home plate umpire Steve Hammond being very lenient with that outside corner tonight. Andina bats from the left side. He's 0 for 1 tonight. A ground out to the 2nd baseman, Deanna, his first time up. Hence sets. Checks Lottenville. Now the pitch. Lined right field, line foul ball. Goes all the way to the wall. But it lands about 8 to 10 feet foul. Just a long strike for Francisco Andina, 0-2.
Yeah, Nandina, who has struggled of late, but we have seen the power with the extra bases, the 5 doubles, the 1 home run, and just waiting for this guy to break out.
Andina is now 1 for 23 since the All-Star break in his last 6 games. Lottenville going the pitch, grounded foul down the first base line, will stay at 0-2.
And we'll remember Lottenville had a big stolen base earlier in this game. He stole second back in the second. Unfortunately, actually, didn't end up being that big as he ends up stranded over at third. But the stolen base took off what would have been an inning-ending double play.
Francisco Andina's batting average has fell off a cliff down to 171 as Hen sets the pitch low. It gets away from the catcher Wick, but not far enough. Lottenville will stay put 1-2 to Andina. And Francisco Andina wasn't a guy who had a great batting average before the break. It was still only 205, but down to 171. Andina obviously hasn't been happy about it, but he says he's just trying to stay focused, stay in here for these last 5 games, and help out the team in whatever way he can. Lottenville going to second. The pickoff move to first got him. Lottenville now
that was a weird one.
Out as he's caught in between first and second, and my partner said it. That was Lottenville trying to retreat back to first. Almost looked like he wanted to barrel over Frank Dixon.
Like not just with his body, but almost extending the arms in a way.
Yeah.
Like, and to put this in perspective, folks, like the movement that they tell you to do when you're coming off the ball as an offensive lineman, just hands on, and then
the 1-2 pitch misses outside.
That first contact, it looked like he was running out of solutions there when he was down in the rundown.
That's exactly what like he was going to bull rush a defensive tackle. Excuse me, an offensive tackle. Yeah. Lottenville would be the defensive tackle.
For sure.
The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Drop third strike is not on there, as Andina might have thought that it was.
Yeah. Andina thought that ball might have skipped on the turf. The home plate umpire, Steve Himmons, says it did not. 2 away here in the 5th.
I'm just confused, honestly. I'm having a hard. Did they call him out before they laid down the tag, though, is my thing. It looks like
the tag on Lottenville?
Yeah, I
think they said he got out of the baseline.
Oh, okay.
First pitch to Ryan Park. Outside corner, strike 1.
No, because
Lottenville's getting me hyped for football season.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, not if
the 0-1 pitch fouled off behind the plate, 0-2.
That's just tough. Both you and I today, off the air, of course, before the game, me and Gabe both looking at our phones, and both of our professional football teams with key injuries on just the first day of training camp.
Yeah, Andrew, a Redskins fan, the 0-2 pitch now to Park. Ground ball, right side, picked up by the second baseman, Deanna. And Park trips going down the first base line, and he's laughing at himself. He wasn't even 6 steps down the line, and he just fell.
Yeah, he was maybe a fifth of the way down the baseline, and not only did he fall, it was like he did it was like he dove.
Yeah,
he fell Superman style, arms first dive. That is a microcosm of what this season has looked like over the past couple of days.
That'll end the 5th, and we were definitely wrong about Jack Raines.
What do we know?
We thought Raines was going to try to go 3, if not 4 innings for the Scouts, and working quickly, I think he would have been able to. But they're going to bring in his college teammate, Brandon Weissong.
Don't worry, we still got Titus Collins coming out of the bullpen. So coming out of the bullpen later in this game, I'm sure Corey Coops has got a long plan up his sleeves tonight to use almost everyone out of its bullpen.
And we're going to take a short break as Weissong warms up. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the sixth. 6-1 Hamilton Joe's lead over the Xenia Scouts here in the top of the sixth inning. Brandon Wysong on to pitch for the Xenia Scouts. He'll face Ryan Zeals to lead off the sixth. The 9-hole hitter for the Joes. First pitch, swung on and missed, a fastball high, 0-1. Jack Rain's final line, 2 innings pitched. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts for the Baldwin Wallace lefty. Now the 0-1 from Brandon Wysong. Just misses off the outside corner, 1-1. And now Rains' Baldwin Wallace teammate back out on the mound. Wallace had a knee injury throughout most of this year as the 1-1 pitch to Ryan Zeals. Way inside. Zeals has to duck out of the way, 2-1. And Brandon Wysong in just a few innings this summer trying to get his arm back up to speed has done pretty well.
Yeah, Brandon Wysong, we've seen him appear in a couple of games so far this year. He has thrown 3 innings, allowed 2 hits.
The 2-1 swung on and missed. That fastball was high and tight as well, and Zeal saw a fastball at his eyes and went around.
He's allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. He's walked 3. He actually hasn't struck out anyone yet. A 6 ERA, opponents are batting 167.
The 2-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Brandon Wysong gets his first strikeout of the season. Here in the 6th inning, 1 down.
There's a positive curse to the commentator there. So the punch-outs continue to pile up.
But granted, when you have so few innings, you kind of have to ignore the high ERA for Brandon Wysong.
Oh, no, it's 3 innings.
Yeah. I hate seeing that 6 under the ERA column. First pitch now to Riley Dent, low and away, ball 1. How many runs did you say he had given up in 3 innings?
2.
Yeah.
Well, he basically had.
One of them was a homer, I think, if I remember correctly.
No, absolute bomb.
Yep. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded left side. Takis picks it up on a few hops. Fires across the diamond. 2 away here in the 6th.
2 up, 2 down quickly here for Brandon Wysong. And very impressive play defensively there by Aaron Takis over at short.
And in steps Genesis Hillard to try to keep the inning alive for the Hamilton Joes, leading 6-1 over the Xenia Scouts here in the top of the 6th inning. Hillard's 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch tonight. Has reached base all 3 times, however, on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. First pitch, inside, ball 1.
By the way, Wysong's punch out there, that's the 9th strikeout of the evening for Xenia Scouts pitching in just 5 2/3 innings pitched.
Yet they find themselves in a hole here in the 6th inning. Down by 5. The 1-0 pitch misses low, 2-0. Brandon Wysong, the righty from Baldwin Wallace University. I mentioned the injury to his knee. He only had 4 appearances in school ball as well. 7 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 6. The 2-0. High and away. 3-0 to Genesis Hillard.
Yeah, so Brandon Wysong probably don't want to put this guy Genesis Hillard on. That being said, he has gotten caught stealing already today, so maybe he'll try again and get caught again.
Wysong sets the 3-0 delivery. Outside corner, strike 1.
Good pitch on that outside edge right there by Wysong. He goes fastball and just nails it.
Hillard, the junior from Ohio Dominican University, the Division III program in the Panthers. The 3-1 pitch, inside, ball 4. A 2-out base runner for the Joes here in the 6th.
And big batter here for Wysong. You don't want to give up a run here. And if you're Wysong, we know that his ability is much better than that. Like you said, 6 ERA. That's just misleading for a very talented guy in Brandon Wysong. So hopefully he can shut the door here on the Joes and Trey Turner, who has had an up and down day so far.
Turner 1 for 2 with a walk today. He singled his first time up. Walked in the 2nd inning, struck out his last time up in the 4th. First pitch to Turner. Foul ball behind the plate, 0-1. Turner, the Arizona State Sun Devil, a redshirt freshman with the Sun Devils. A 2-sport athlete, came into Arizona State playing football and baseball. Decided to drop football this summer and just focused on baseball. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded back to Wysong on the mound. He tosses to first, and that'll do it here in the 6th. For the Hamilton Joes, Brandon Wysong comes in. Doesn't allow a hit. No runs. The Joes leave 1 left aboard. And we'll head to the home half of the 6th inning. Scouts trailing 6-1. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The Scouts trail the Hamilton Joes 6-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. First pitch to Aaron Takis, high and away, 1-0. The Joes struck in the first 3 innings, 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, 2 in the third. Now the 1-0 to Takis, misses high at the chin, 2-0. Ever since, 3 straight scoreless innings by Jack Rains and Brandon Wysong on the mound for Xenia. Aaron Takis trying to get something going, takes a strike in the outside corner, 2-1. The Scouts with Takis, Jordan Lambert, and Kyle Castro leave 2-3-4 hitters due up here in the 6th. The 2-1 pitch, outside corner, strike 2. Xenia struck once in the first inning. They had bases loaded with 1 out and got a run. The 2-2 pitch, lined foul behind the plate, will stay at 2-2. Ever since that first inning, 1 hit for Xenia, no runs. And they trail 6-1 here in the home half of the 6th. The 2-2 pitch, curveball popped up foul territory down the left field line. Count stays even at 2-2. Aaron Takis, 1 for 2 tonight, a single in the first inning. Came around to score the only run of the game for Xenia. Grounded out to second his last time up. Now the pitch. Line drive, center field. Riley Dent coming in. He makes the grab, 1 away here in the 6th.
And Dent coming in very aggressively there. That ball off the bat, maybe looking like it was going to drop, but ultimately it just hangs in the air for a little bit too long. So Aaron Takis retired for the 2nd time in a row now.
And that'll bring up Jordan Lambert for Xenia. Lambert 1 for 2 today. Reached on an infield single his first time up in the first inning. Flew out to the center fielder Dent his 2nd time up in the 3rd. Lambert, a .292 hitter on the year, leads the team with 38 hits. He bats from the left side against the righty Danny Hentz, who is pitching his best outing of the year. The first pitch, off speed in there for a strike, 0-1. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark of this baseball game. The 0-1 pitch, grounded right back to Hentz on the mound. He'll jog over to first, flip it over to the first baseman, Dixon, 2 away.
And the first hour, or the first 3 innings, being very, very long. These ones going by a little bit smoother. Unfortunately, that doesn't undo the fact that the Scouts went down 6-1 in those first 3 innings.
Those first 3 innings, about an hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Now we're sitting about an hour and 55 total, so the next 3 have only been about 40. First pitch to Kyle Casserly, outside corner, strike 1. Danny Hentz coming into tonight, a 6.17 ERA and 11 2/3 innings pitched out of the bullpen. The 0-1 pitch, grounded right back to Hentz. He goes through his legs, picked up at the shortstop Zeal. The throw over to first, they got him. A 1-2-3 inning for Danny Hentz, who has now pitched 6 innings of baseball and only allowed 1 run on 3 hits. The Scouts go down 1-2-3 for the 3rd inning in a row. And we head to the 7th. Andrew Axe will have the play-by-play for the final 3 innings. Scouts trail 6-1.
So we go into inning number 7 of baseball here at Grady's Field. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts now trailing by a score of 6-1. Brandon Weissong in to pitch his 2nd inning of work. First pitch to Genesis Hillard, or should I say Nigel Williams. That one hit on the ground down the 3rd base line. It gets past the glove of a diving Donald Ring, rolls all the way to the wall. Nigel Williams now standing at 2nd base. A leadoff double on the first pitch here against Brandon Weissong, and Hamilton Joe is a runner in scoring position here with nobody out. It's going to bring Frank Dixon to the plate. Frank Dixon, well, he's 1 for 3 on the day, an RBI single back in the 1st inning. Since then, a ground out and a fly out. He bats from the left side here against the righty Brandon Weissong. A runner at 2nd and nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch from Weissong. That one hit on the ground over towards 2nd base. Bourgeois has it. He throws over to first in time. Out number 1. Nigel Williams will advance from 2nd to 3rd base there on the ground out. So now with a runner at 3rd here and just 1 away in the top of the 7th, anything in the air from the 2nd baseman, Mason Deanna, will bring home Nigel Williams on the sacrifice fly. Mason Deanna, he hasn't put anything in the air all night long. He struck out twice against Jorge Lozano and then once against Jack Raines. 0 for 3 on the day with 3 strikeouts. First pitch from Weissong. That one upstairs and inside. A little chin music there from Weissong. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Deanna, the 2nd baseman from the University of Cincinnati. A pretty good hitter on the year. We have not seen that tonight. As that one is hit in the air, out of play down the right field side. The count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Mason Deanna, a 278 hitter around the year, a couple of doubles, a triple, and 10 RBIs. Deanna. Infield is in here with 1 away in the top of the 7th. The pitch from Weissong, and that one hits him right in the helmet, ricochets off of it, out of play. And, a hit by pitch there, a scary moment. That's why we wear helmets in the great sport of baseball, folks. So runners now at the corners with 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. 6-1 is the score in favor of the Hamilton Joes. So Ryan Crockett now to the plate. Ryan Crockett, a 218 hitter, 3 doubles, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 today. He has walked twice so far this evening. First pitch to him. On the inside, 1 ball and no strikes. No one going in the Xenia Scouts bullpen so far this evening. Ryan Crockett, the designated hitter from Samford University. He bats from the right side here against the righty Brandon Wysong. Wysong sets and delivers. That one hit on the ground over towards second. Bourgeois goes to Tackett at second for 1. The third at first for 2 will be in time. A 4-6-3 double play gets Brandon Wysong and the Scouts out of the top of the 7th inning unscathed. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for the Hamilton Joes in the top of the 7th. We have reached the 7th inning stretch. The Scouts trail the Joes by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. The bottom of inning number 7, first pitch to Donald Ring is fouled back over the screen. 1 ball, or no balls and 1 strike here to Donald Ring. The Scouts trailing this one by a score of 6-1. The Hamilton Joes, the Joes, well, they've gotten 6 runs on 7 hits. That foul as that ball was just cutting right from the moment it came off of the bat. 0-1 goes, or 0-2, I should say, goes the count here to Donald Ring. Ring, he's 0 for 1 on the day. A strikeout in his only official at bat. Of course, his first time to the plate. An RBI on a sacrifice fly that brought the Scouts 1 and only run home of the game. So Ring, the third baseman, not always a third baseman, normally a catcher or the designated hitter. 0-2 pitch, and he waves and misses there. They'll say he just got a piece of that one. Fouls it straight back into the plate. The count will stay at 0-2. Ring, a 224 hitter on the year, 7 doubles, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs. He awaits the 0-2 pitch, and that one hit on the ground over towards second base. The pitcher's going to come, cut it off, field his position, step on first. Mark that down as a 1 unassisted. You don't see that every day, folks. And with 1 away, Chris Ackerman going to come to the plate. Chris Ackerman, he's 0 for 2 on the night, a couple of ground outs. Both of them, of course, to the shortstop. So 0 for 2 on the day is Chris Ackerman. He hasn't done particularly well as of late either. Chris Ackerman, he has gone cold. Hitless since the All-Star break. First pitch to him, a fastball on the inside part of the plate, 0-1. Ackerman, however, still drawing a lot of walks. The 0-1 pitch. He hits that one high in the air, deep to left field. Going back is the left fielder, and that one will bounce right in front of the wall and hop over the fence. A ground rule double from Chris Ackerman breaks the cold streak, and the Scouts have a runner in scoring position here with just one away. And puts Ange Bourgeois in a position to bring the runner home. So Ange Bourgeois, well, he steps in. Bourgeois is 0 for 2 on the day as well. Bourgeois, the second baseman from Biola University, a .228 hitter on the year, 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 7 RBIs. He steps in. They look back to Chris Ackerman, pitch to Bourgeois, curveball on the outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Ange Bourgeois, a fly out and a strikeout today. The strikeout, Bourgeois' 26th of the year. That is a weak spot in his game. The 0-1 pitch. And Bourgeois hits that one hard in the air center field, but not very deep. Ackerman will tag from second as he makes the catch and quickly realized that was not a good idea. He'll scurry back to second, mark it down as an F8 for Ange Bourgeois, fly out to center field. And now Dylan Lottenville to the plate with a runner at second and and 2 away. Dylan Lottenville, of course, 7 for 70 on the year coming into this game, but he's actually reached base twice tonight. A single his first time to the plate. He was hit by a pitch his second time up. Lottenville's Hillsdale teammate Chris Ackerman over at second. First pitch to Lottenville. Check swing. Did he go? They'll say yes, he did. Nothing and 1 the count. Lottenville bats from the right side here against the righty. The 0-1 pitch coming now. Way on the inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. That one almost got a piece of Lottenville, and that would be the second time Dylan Lottenville was hit by a pitch tonight, but he scurries out of the way quickly, dodging that one. So the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, low and in yet again. 2-1 goes the count. Lottenville, like we said, the Hillsdale Charger. He had a pretty successful season this past year at Hillsdale. Lottenville, a .261 hitter with 6 home runs, 26 RBIs for the Chargers. Hillsdale, of course, the Division II program. They're actually formerly in the GLIAC Conference, actually now making the move into the GMAC Conference. That's the Great Midwest Athletic Conference for the 2018 season. The 2-1 pitch to Lottenville. He hits that one on the ground towards third. The third baseman, Genesis Hillard, has it. He throws over to first. Stretching is the first baseman, Frank Dixon. They beat Lottenville. Mark that down as a 5-3, out number 3 here in the home half of the 7th. So no runs on 1 hit, a double from Chris Ackerman, but they can't bring him home. The Scouts put up a 0 for the 6th inning in a row. We go into the 8th inning. The Scouts trail this one by a score of 6-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the 8th inning here at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes. Well, the Hamilton Joes, they have the best of the Scouts so far. A 6-1 lead here in the top of the 8th, and Brandon Lysong out to pitch his 3rd inning of work. A couple of scoreless innings for the righty from Baldwin Wallace. First pitch fastball inside part of the plate. The call strike one. Wysong, like I said, a couple of scoreless frames. He has allowed one hit, and that was a double off the bat of Nigel Williams. It's James Wick at the plate. Wick is 0 for 3 on the day. He takes on the outside, 1-1, moves the count. James Wick, the catcher from Elmhurst College. 0 for 3 on the day. He bats from the right side against the righty. The 1-1 pitch. Wysong delivers low and away. Two balls, one strike. The 2-1 pitch. And that one fouled out of play. First base side evens up the count 2-2. It'll be James Wick, Ryan Zeals, and Riley Dent due up for the Hamilton Joes here in the top of the 8th inning in what has been a struggle for the Xenia Scouts ball club. The 2-2 pitch from Wysong. Way on the inside fastball. James Wick has to do a little dance move there, get himself out of the way. The count goes full, 3-2. The Joes put up 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, and 2 runs in the third. All of them coming off of Jorge Lozano. Most of those runs not going to be earned at the end of the day. As the 3-2 pitch, that one delivers low and away, ball number 4. A leadoff walk from Brandon Wysong. And 1 on and nobody out here as he gets back to the very dangerous part of this order with Ryan Zeals coming to the plate. Ryan Zeals, the shortstop from Miami at Hamilton, a .271 hitter on the year, 7 doubles, a triple, and 13 RBIs. But the main thing we think about when we think about Ryan Zeals, the speed. 22 stolen bases this year. That is the most in the Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball League. He bats from the right side here against the righty Brandon Wysong. Wysong goes pickoff attempt. That one's actually going to get past Kyle Casperly, but not very far past him. James Wick over at first. Well, he's going to stay put. So we're still waiting on that first pitch here. It's the top of the 8th. Nobody out. A 6-1 Hamilton Joes ball lead in this ball game. Wysong looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. He sets and delivers, showing bunt but pulling back as that pitch is delivered way upstairs. Ryan Zeals hits the dirt as he is just trying to avoid getting hit there. Brandon Wysong a little wild, and as he had thrown 3 innings all season long coming off of the rehab surgery. It might be safe to say that it might not be the best of ideas to keep him in for 3 innings in this ball game. But James Wick advances over to second base on that wild pitch. So the count, 1 ball and no strikes here to Ryan Zeals. The pitch from Wysong. And that ball bunted back at the mound. Going to third is Brandon Wysong, and the throw to third is going to get past the glove of Donald Ring. Ryan Zeals will come home to score. Rounding first and heading for second is the speedy Ryan Zeals. It was supposed to just be a sacrifice bunt to get the runner over to third, but Brandon Wysong tries to go to third with it, and the throw, quite frankly, was just not there. So a run comes home to score, and now another runner in scoring position here. 7-1 to score now in favor of the Hamilton Joes, and we get some action going in the bullpen for these Xenia Scouts. Looks like we got Titus Collins warming up in the pen. The Scouts, they're just trying to get something, trying to get anything going here. But they, of course, will need some pitching behind them. So mark that one down as what would be a sacrifice bunt, I suppose. So Zeals will not get the official at-bat. Back to the top of the order here with Riley Dent. Riley Dent, he's 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a ground out on the day. So he has reached base twice, came home to score the first run of this ball game. If you folks remember, he actually led this game off with a slow-moving bunt down that third base line. It just died in the Grady's field turf. It's the 1-0 pitch, fastball outside part of the plate. A called strike evens things up, 1 ball and 1 strike here. A runner at second. With nobody out here in the top of the 8th, 7-1. Now the score in favor of these Hamilton Joes. The pitch The runner goes. Chris Ackerman throws over to third. That'll be there in time. America runs on Duncan, but Ryan Zeals is not going to run on Chris Ackerman, at least not that time. Out number one, and a big one. As the count evens up a ball and a strike now with that ball a little bit on the outside. But Ryan Zeals, who was 22 for 27 on stolen bases, will make it 22 for 28. Chris Ackerman gets him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That ball is chopped, a blooper into left field. Aaron Takas will not be able to make the grab. They bounces off his glove, heading over to second is Riley Dent. That looked like it could have been Takas's ball. Is obviously he called for it, but mark that one down as an E6, the third error of the game for the Xenia Scouts. And that is a tough one because yet again, a runner moving into scoring position. So now it's Riley Dent at second here. Still nobody, or still now just one away in the top of the eighth. The batter is Genesis Hiller. 1 for 2 on the day. His one hit, a double back in the fourth inning. Has reached base twice otherwise, however. Hit by a pitch in the first inning. He walked back in the sixth. First pitch to him is a strike. The 0-1. Fouled straight back, and Brandon Lysong quickly ahead in this count, 0-2. Genesis Hillard from Ohio Dominican University, a .225 hitter on the year. He is the team leader in home runs for this Hamilton Joes club with 2. So that's not very many. Can't say the Scouts have anyone with any more. The 0-2 pitch. Lysong delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brandon Lysong with his second strikeout of the ball game, his second strikeout of the season. 2 away now for the Scouts here in the top of the eighth. So now it's Trey Turner going to come to the plate. Trey Turner, the right fielder from Arizona State University, a .258 hitter on the year, 16 hits in. Or no, that's wrong. I'm misreading my own handwriting there. 5 doubles, 3 triples, and a couple of home runs. 21 runs batted in. First pitch to him. Outside, off the plate, 1 ball, and no strikes to Trey Turner. Turner. Well, those numbers, those extra base numbers, all of them amongst the team leaders for this Hamilton Joes team. Tied for first in home runs, tied for first in triples. He is third in doubles, second in RBIs. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 1. The count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike here. It's Riley Dent at second with 2 away here in the top of the eighth. A 7-1 Hamilton Joes lead. Trey Turner, a 2-sport athlete, at one time ranked the number 2 running back in the state of Louisiana, but his football career is no more. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Gabe, are you a little bit surprised we saw Brandon Lysong come out for this third inning of baseball?
A little bit, just because of the injury, and we've seen him in limited work, but he must have told pitching coach Corey Coobs he could go 1 more.
And Corey Coobs going to let it happen here. The 2-1 pitch from Lysong. And that one's off the plate, and that will get past the glove of the catcher, Chris Ackerman. Advancing over to third is Riley Denton. Now just a single off the bat of Trey Turner on a very favorable 3-1 count would bring home run number 8 of this ball game for the Hamilton Joes. A lot of passed balls, a lot of stolen bases, a lot of errors that we have seen tonight, and that is a tough one when you're trying to win a baseball game. The Scouts have not done that in what seems like a long time. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch, and that ball is hit into center field. It'll drop in front of the center fielder, Francisco Andina. Coming home to score is Riley Dent, an RBI single off the bat of Trey Turner, his 22nd RBI. Make it 23rd because he was responsible for the first of the game. His 23rd RBI of the year, his 2nd RBI of the game, his 2nd hit of the game. And the score now 8-1 in favor of these Joes.
Not much you can say. Just a good piece of hitting from Turner to bloop that one out into center field. And now Nigel Williams stepping to the plate. He'll take a ball off the outside corner.
Nigel Williams, well, he was the first guy to get a hit off of Brandon Wysong. He doubled off of Wysong back in the top of the 7th. Ended up getting stranded. So now 2 hits allowed off of Wysong. Can't tell you when they'll be earned or unearned as Wysong delivers fastball outside part of the plate. A called strike that time, evens up the count 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Wysong delivers. And that ball fouled down the first base line. And Brandon now ahead in this count 1-2. Nigel Williams, well, he's a pretty good hitter so far. His double back in the 7th. That was his 10th double of the year. Extends already what was his team lead on this Hamilton Joe's ball club. And that'll put him amongst the leaders in the league, up there with Kyle Casserly, who has 10 doubles himself this year. The 1-2 pitch. And that ball hit on the ground over towards short. Aaron Takis fields it cleanly, goes to second for the 4th. And that will do it for Hamilton here in the top of the 8th inning. But they add some more. A couple runs on just, I believe, 1 hit. And 1 man left aboard for these Hamilton Joes. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on, you guessed it, the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So we go into the home half of the 8th inning here. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi. It has been a long baseball game here at Grady's Field tonight. And the Scouts, well, they're still just trying to get back into this one. An 8-1 deficit is what they will have to try to climb here. It'll be Francisco Andino, Ryan Park, and Aaron Takis to the plate here. First pitch to Andino. Outside ball 1.
Now, Nathan Kroger in the game. Danny Hens had a very nice night for the Hamilton Joes.
We've seen a lot of really good pitching performances on the other side recently. 1-0 pitch to Francisco Andino, fouled off out of play. Third base side. Andino, well, he's over 2 on the day. A strikeout and a ground out so far. This will be the final time that the Scouts take on the Hamilton Joes. And let me tell you, a 1-1 pitch. Andino takes that one low, 2-1. Not exactly what the Joes Scouts rivalry was last season, but these teams got a little bit of a pennant race going as well. The battle for fourth place as Andina takes on the inside, evens up the count.
That's one way to look at it right there.
I mean, the glass half full mentality, as they say.
Don't come in last.
Yes. If you're not first, you're last. But if you're in last, then you're most certainly in last. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate, the count goes full. Francisco Andina has done a good job this year of drawing walks. 23 so far.
I never thought about it that way. Just don't come in last.
No, it's you don't want to be the Richmond Jazz of 2016 as Andina takes upstairs and outside ball 4. So that's his 24th walk of the year. He's done a good job in that department, really, since the outset of the season. But
yeah, the Scouts in 4th have a 2.5 game lead on the Joes, who are in 5th for last place. And Andrew gives me the like big eyes, like
that has really narrowed that margin right there. First pitch here to Ryan Park. That one taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It seemed like just yesterday that the Scouts had like a 7-game lead.
At one point, I know our lead was at least 5 against the Joes. Again, this is for last place, guys,
Yeah.
or 4th place in
Yeah.
the division.
Well, it counts in my heart. Upstairs and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the count to Ryan Park. Park is 0 for 3 on the day, which is rare. Normally he gets on base, still has an opportunity to do it here in the home half of the 8th. An 8-1 deficit for the Scouts. Park bats from the left side here against the righty, and he waves and misses there. Behind in the count now, 1-2. Ryan Park, a .272 hitter on the year. 9 RBIs, 26 walks, a .446 on-base percentage coming into this contest as they throw over to first to try to get Francisco Andina. Throw will not be in time. It's runner at first here with nobody out in the top of the 8th for the Scouts. Now remember, folks, Xenia was at one point 15-15. They now sit at 15-21 as Park fouls that one straight back. Will stay at 1-2. And can you believe it hasn't even been a full week? This will be
Tomorrow will be a full week.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a full week.
Because we played our first game after the All-Star break on Thursday last week.
A double hitter between the Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The Copperheads won that one, and then another one the next day, and then it was 2 wins for the Richmond Jazz against the Scouts as Park will watch low and away. And then the Hamilton Joes picking up the first game of the series yesterday.
It's just amazing how quickly things turned.
They'll in a short 40-game season. It seems short when you do it. As Park hits that one on the ground towards first, the first baseman will throw over to second for 1, the throw to first for 2. Not in time, so they will get the lead runner, Francisco Andina, over at second for out number 1. Ryan Park safe at first on the fielder's choice, so still 1 on, but now 1 out here, and Aaron Tack is coming to the plate.
Yeah, and just to add to that story a little bit of how quick things turned, in game 1 of that doubleheader with the Copperheads, the first game back from the All-Star break, the Scouts took the lead 6-3 in the 5th, and I was talking to the Copperheads broadcaster Lucas Moore outside the press box in that inning.
That's first pitch to Aaron Tackis here, still on a missed strike 1.
Because in that game, I had the first 3 and the last 3, so I was stepping out to take a little bit of a break in the 5th, and Lucas was as well, as his color man Russ was doing the play-by-play. And Lucas turned to me.
As Tackis awaits the 0-1 pitch here. Curveball outside part of the plate taken for a called strike 2.
And Lucas genuinely thought that the Copperhead season was over. He said, because they had lost 4 out of 5 going into the break. And he was like, this has been what we've been doing.
The 0-2 pitch, fouled out of play. Third base side will stay at 0-2.
Because the Copperheads had a 3-0 lead. The Scouts got 6 super quickly. It looked like Xenia was going to win that ball game and take sole possession of third place.
Well, funny how that didn't happen.
With only 8 games to go. And then all of a sudden, the Copperheads won that one after getting to go ahead run in the 8th inning or the 9th inning. maybe I should say, in the top of the ninth, and that was it.
Well, this has been a tough ball game as the 0-2 pitch is lifted into deep right center field by Aaron Takis, but just not deep enough. The right fielder Turner, he comes under it and makes the grab for the second out of this game. Ryan Park will stay at first, and now 1 on and 2 away. But to what you were saying, this losing streak that we've gone through, well, it hasn't been like we've been killed every game. A lot of the games, like we talk about that first game against the Copperheads, a blown lead. The second game against the Copperheads, in it the entire time. First game against the Jazz, were we in it the entire time? One of the 2 games against the Jazz, we were in it, as Jordan Lambert awaits first pitch here. Outside 1 ball, no strikes.
The first game against the Jazz, we were tied 2-2 going into the 6th, and they won 11-2 because they rattled off a few big innings. But the second game, we were tied 1-1 through 9.
Yes, that was the close one. And then last night's contest against the Joes, well, you were kind of in it the entire time. This one, not so much. But regardless, the Scouts dropped this one. This will be 7 losses in a row. But 1 ball and no strike, the count to Lambert. The pitch, Lambert checks his swing. They'll say that one found the zone anyway. Evens up the count 1-1 here with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. The runner at first is Ryan Park. The Scouts trailing this one by a score of 8-1. Here's the pitch. And Lambert lines that one right into the glove of the second baseman, Mason Deanna. Out number 3 here in the home half of the 8th. So the Scouts, they can't get anything going yet again. No runs on no hits and 1 man left aboard for Xenia. We have played 8 innings of baseball here, and the Scouts trail by a score of 8-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the 9th inning. And the top of the 9th inning, of course, brought to you by one of the great songs we've ever heard. Gabe does not like it, but Scatman's World, like Scatman John, one of the best. Gabe doesn't remember the 90s. He's too young.
Yeah, that was just funny because you were literally playing the song, started to sing the song, and then I heard you click the live button and just go, "We go to the 9th," and I just had to chuckle.
Yeah, of course. Well, we try to keep things lighthearted here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network, but the score now 8-1 in favor of the Hamilton Joes. The Joes back out to bat, and it's Kyle Bruner to the mound. Bruner, the righty from Grace College in the great state of Indiana. He has kind of gone in and out of being injured this season, but he'll face Frank Dixon, Mason Deanna, and Ryan Crockett here in the top of the 9th. So first pitch here. Looks like perhaps
Pinch hitter.
Pinch hitter.
Sorry, didn't see the number.
23. Well, is it number 23? No, Dixon's 24. Right?
Dixon is 24. Number 23, if I can find it on my roster here, is Jeff Stuke.
Jeff Stuke. The 0-1 pitch to him. He lines that one right at the glove of the shortstop, Aaron Taggart. One hops. He throws over to first in time. So lines right into the glove, maybe not the right word, but a 6-3 ground out there. And out number one here for Kyle Bruner. A good quick ground out for the righty.
Yeah, Bruner would like to end this game on a positive note for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. So now it's Mason Deanna to the plate. Deanna 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch once. That actually was from Brandon Weisson. Got plunked right in the head. Tough one. First pitch curveball hit high in the air. Shallow left field going back to the shortstop, Aaron Takas. And that might have been one of the weirdest things I ever saw, because that ball, it looked like it was going to go really deep, and then it just totally died.
I thought Lambert was going to have to range to his left, take a couple steps back. And
yeah, I thought it was going to be like a play at the track, but that ball just died in the air.
I didn't think the track, but easily like medium
behind the left fielder, maybe.
To depth, a little behind Lambert, and instead that ball was to Aaron Takas at shortstop.
That's very strange.
Like three.
That's why you got to be able to make adjustments on the fly, and just like I can adjust from singing Scatman's World to broadcasting, we continue to make adjustments here.
Yeah, that was an interesting change up there.
Oh, I try it. First pitch here, and then now the batter is another pinch hitter, looks like. Oh, gosh. See, now Gabe's filming me. Not a great time to be on the Snapchat. But the count 1-0 here to the pinch hitter, number 20. Oh, wait, no, I got the thing.
Now you're
it's Evan Bell. So now I'm like committing.
Now you're waiting for me to tell you who the pinch hitter is.
Yeah, well, I thought but I had the papers.
You had our rosters.
Well, Evan Bell is the pinch hitter. He bats from the right side here against the righty Kyle Bruner. The count 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Low and away, 3-0. Evan Bell, the Memphis Tiger. He's 1 for 8 with an RBI against the Scouts so far this year. There are 2 outs here in the top of the ninth inning. A pretty good inning from Kyle Bruner so far. But behind this count 3-0 to the pinch hitter Bell. He delivers the 3-0 pitch. Inside fastball, 3 balls and 1 strike now. Bruner. 3-1 to count. He looks to the catcher, Chris Ackerman. The 3-1 pitch. Way on the outside, ball 4. So Evan Bell comes in for the pinch hit situation and draws a walk. So now it's 2 out and 1 on. And we'll see if they do another pinch hitter here, as Chris Ackerman's going to go out and have a word on the mound with Kyle Bruner.
Bruner got the first 2 outs quickly. Settle down now. Get the third and get out of this inning.
Yeah, that would be the goal. So James Wick will not be pinch hit for. Wick is 0 for 2 on the day, a couple of strikeouts. Actually 0 for 3, I should say. Didn't bring a run home on a 6-3 ground out, so ground out and a couple of strikeouts. He did walk his last time up. He bats from the right side here against the righty Kyle Bruner. First pitch from Bruner. Fastball outside part of the plate, called strike 1. Wick, a 273 here from Elmhurst College. Do we know anything about Elmhurst College? Well, let me tell you. No, we don't. He's from Lake Forest, Illinois. And now the interesting thing about Lake Forest, Illinois, sounds a lot like Wake Forest, but instead it's just kind of like 2 geographical features. The 1-1 pitch, curveball inside. Bruner now last count. Gabe's going to miss me after the season. I can tell you that much. A little bit of humor here and there. A ball and 2 strikes the count out. 2 away in the top of the 9th. The pitch from Bruner. Way on the outside ball, too. Ryan Zeals awaits on deck. He has reached base 3 times this evening. So we don't want to pitch to that guy. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kyle Bruner punches out the Lake Forest, Illinois native James Wick. And that will do it for the Hamilton Joes in the top of the 9th. The Scouts are going to have one more shot at it, but they're going to need a big inning if they want to even tie it up. They trail by 7 going into the bottom of the 9th, and you don't want to miss the end of the action. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning here. The Scouts trailing the Hamilton Joes by a score of 8-1. Kyle Casserly, Donald Ring, and Chris Ackerman are due up for Xenia here in the final inning of play. The Scouts need 7 runs to keep this game going. Looks like we got Landon Williams warming up in the bullpen. It'll be interesting. If they need to use him in this game, that will mean that they made a 7-run comeback here in the bottom of the 9th. So that would be super exciting. That's the man you would want pitching.
I would love that.
But ultimately, even first of all, you gotta keep all possibilities open. I suppose you don't want to act like you're about to lose. And Williams probably just needs to throw a bullpen anyway because he hasn't pitched in a couple of days. But Kyle Casserly, he'll lead things off for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 9th. Casserly is 0 for 2 on the day. He has reached base once. A walk his first time up back in the first. First pitch to Casserly. He lines one into left field. That'll drop for a base hit. So Kyle Casserly, one pitch, and he gets a hard line drive taking it the other way into left field. And Kyle Casserly continues to have a pretty impressive week, even as the Scouts have been doing not so hot as a team.
Yeah, and I saw a line shot out there to left field, his first hit of the day. And he's talked about it. He needs to jump on fastballs, and that's what he did there.
Absolutely. So now Donald Ring to the plate here, 1 on and nobody out in the home half of the 9th. First pitch to Ring. Ring fouls that one hard out of play, left field side, no balls and 1 strike. Ring has an RBI today. He picked it up on a sacrifice fly back in the first. 0 for 2 on the day in total. Ring playing third base tonight. A .224 hitter on the year, 7 doubles, and 8 RBIs for the Donald. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ring quickly behind in this count. 0-2. His teammate, Chris Ackerman, over at Hillsdale College. Scouts teammates, Hillsdale Charger teammates, and he awaits on deck. Pickoff move over to first to try to get Casserly. That'll almost pop out of the glove of Frank Dixon. And Kyle Casserly almost takes a weird fall there, and he's good. He'll walk it off as he calls time. 0-2 the count. Ring bats from the left side here against the righty Nathan Kroger. Big lead for Casserly over at first. He does have some speed. Ring watches upstairs now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ackerman on deck. Anders Bourgeois in the hole if we can get to him. Barring the double play ball, we most certainly will. The 1-2 pitch. And Ring Swinging there, a ball kind of on the outside, but just protecting the zone. He fouls it straight back. The count will stay 1-2.
Yeah, I had to go lunging for that one, but you said it. Had to protect the outside corner to stay alive.
When your team is running out of outs to give, it is important to not take anything close with 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Donald Ring goes down swinging for the second time today. And that is out number 1 for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 9th. So now Chris Ackerman to the plate. Chris Ackerman, well, he was on a little bit of a cold streak, but his double his last time up back in the home half of the 7th. His 4th double of the year, ending that cold streak right there. He bats from the right side here against the righty. First pitch to him, low and inside. 1-0 the count. Ackerman hitting a $188 on the year coming into today. 12 RBIs, 23 walks, 37 strikeouts. All of those numbers amongst the leaders for the Scouts. The 1-0 pitch. That one's hit high in the air, foul territory, first base side. The first baseman, Frank Dixon, dancing. He will actually lose that ball in the lights in foul territory on the first base side. So Chris Ackerman, that one will just count for a strike and a new shot at life and what really could have been out number 2.
Should have been out number 2. He just lost the ball.
So we'll take it. The Scouts haven't exactly gotten very lucky this evening when it comes to the ball rolling your way here and there. But just to give you some out-of-town scoreboard for those of you who are interested in how the league is playing out, the Copperheads beat the Grand Lake Mariners by a score of 10-0 today. The Jazz beating the Steam by a score of 7-3. 1-1 pitch to Ackerman, low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike moves the count. So that is just kind of doubles down on the Copperheads and Jazz kind of leading this league as a 10-0 win. That's a big one.
Copperheads bouncing back after the bullpen blowing a lead last night.
2-1 pitch inside, 3-1. And that's what I think about the Copperheads is that with the loss of Oceanbane, I guess he'll be good out of the bullpen. They can use him out of the bullpen, which is nice. But to have success in the playoffs, if they do win that first game, if they can, as they take on the inside, or as Ackerman takes on the inside ball 4 there. So after what would have been a fly out in foul territory, Chris Ackerman works a really good count there. Draws a walk, so it's Scouts at first and second here with 1 away and Ange Bourgeois coming to the plate. But the Copperheads, if they don't win the division, they'll have to play in that single elimination game, that 1-game playoff. But going into series play, it'll be interesting to see if they'll probably have to cut down their starting rotation to a 4-man spot so they can have more depth in that bullpen role.
Yep.
So Ange Bourgeois to the plate. He bats from the left side here against the righty. It's Castrolli at second and Chris Ackerman at first. And first pitch to Bourgeois on the inside, 1 ball and no strikes. The walk for Ackerman, by the way, his 24th walk of the year, which is funny because him and Francisco Andina just continuously stay at the same number of walks each and every day. Like Ackerman will get a walk in the game and Andina will get a walk in like the last inning of the game. They've been literally tied for probably about a week and a half. They came into the day tied at 23 walks. Unless Andina gets a walk, they will remain tied.
They both get a walk in their last at bat.
Oh, yeah. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there by Bourgeois. Bourgeois was over 3 today, a couple of flyouts and a strikeout for the second baseman from California. Ange Bourgeois, second baseman. Let me tell you, one of the best guys you will meet in terms of character, in terms of being super friendly. Looking to keep this game going with the Scouts trying to mount a big-time comeback. Bourgeois watches down the outside, a curveball. Now the count 3-1. And if you're Ange Bourgeois here, would you swing at anything?
You gotta try to get something going. A base hit scores a run.
The 3-1 pitch, low and away, ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for the Scouts, and suddenly this game looks a little bit more possible. I mean, I'm serious.
No, I'm with you.
So Dylan Lottenville to the plate. Dylan Lottenville, he's had a good game so far. 1 for 2 on the day, has reached base twice, a single in the first. He was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. Lawtonville, the native of the state of Washington, Bellevue, Washington, same hometown as Tim Lincecum. He goes swinging and missing there. First pitch, 0-1 goes the count to Dylan Lawtonville. Lawtonville, 4 RBIs on the year. He's actually walked 18 times, struck out 28. And he awaits the 1-0 or the 0-1 pitch here. And Lawtonville hits that one on the ground over towards short. They go to second for 1, or he actually double clutches it. He does not go to second for 1. That was very strange. The shorts out there, Zeals, looked like he was trying to toss it, and it just didn't come out of his hand or something. Ultimately, he goes to first, gets the force, and gets Dylan Lawtonville for out number 2. Kyle Casterly comes home to score on the ground out to make that RBI number 5 of the year for Dylan Lawtonville. That'll cut this lead to 8-2 for the Hamilton Joes. Now it's runners at second and third with 2 away in the bottom of the 9th, and the Scouts' hopes of keeping this game alive come down to Francisco Andina. Andina, he's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, that being his 24th walk of the season. Andina, a $171 hitter on the year. The 0-1 pitch to him, and he lifts that one into center field, not very deep. Riley Dent comes under it, makes the grab, and that will be all she wrote here tonight. The final score, the Hamilton Joes 8, the Xenia Scouts 2. The Joes with 8 runs on 9 hits. They did not make an error. The Scouts with 2 runs on 5 hits. They made 3 errors in the field. The winning pitcher will be our boy, Danny Hentz. Danny Hentz. The losing pitcher, unfortunately, will be Jorge Lozano. Nobody gets the save there, as it was far out of reach. So the Scouts now drop to 15-22 on the year. That is their 7th straight loss. The Joes move to 13-23 on the year. The final matchup between these two ball clubs here at Grady's Field. And, you got any final thoughts from this game, Gabe?
The Scouts now don't have a winning record against anybody in the South. They finished the year 4-4 against the Joes. They finished the year 2-6 against the Copperheads. They finished the year 2-6 against the Richmond Jazz, and they are tied 3-3 with the Cincinnati Steam. And we play 2 against the Steam in the upcoming days, so that will determine if the Scouts can get a winning record against any divisional opponent. And that's now 7 losses in a row for the Xenia Scouts. And it's just a tough way to finish out the year. But hopefully in the final 4 games, the Scouts can get something going. I will say this. The Scouts are eliminated from playoff contention, but you can ruin the Cincinnati Steam season in the next 2 games. The Steam are a half game out of a playoff spot. And did they win tonight, the Steam?
No, they lost.
The Steam lost, so they're now a game and a half out of a playoff spot with 4 games to go. And if the Scouts can beat the Steam once, if not twice, the Steam will probably be eliminated from playoff contention. And that would be a fun way to end the year.
Yeah, so that will certainly happen, and we will bring you all the action, folks. We thank you for joining us tonight. I am Andrew Alix. He is Gabe Genovesi. Like we said, glad to have you aboard with us tonight. We hope you join us tomorrow at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time as the Scouts are back here at Grady's Field for their second to last home game of the year. They will take on the Cincinnati Steam in the first of the final 2 games of the year between those 2 ball clubs. So like Gabe said, there's a lot to play for still for the Scouts, even though the playoffs not in reach, and we will bring you all the action live here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So we thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you have a good night. God bless. Yes.